we've corrected our technical problems, hopefully, and we've just had the kickoff. It was a short popover kick by Rodolfo Gaona, and it was taken at the 38-yard line by one of the Greenville up receivers. The Lions are going to take over at the controls tonight for the first time as a starter on the varsity level is number 13, Julian Ramos, sophomore quarterback. So big shoes to fill for Ramos. He hands the ball off. That's Daniel Renner, and Renner moves forward for a nice pickup.
Yeah, good pickup there of about 7 or 8 there for Renner. As we saw some great blocking by the Greenville offensive line, as well as number 25, Greg Washington, who's in at H-back.
Ramos is sporting either some pink shoelaces or some pink socks or some pink shoes, so he's doing a little styling down there. Takes a snap, once again hands off. Renner's bouncing to the outside, he's midfield, tries to leap over a defender, but is brought down, not before he got a first down.
Yeah, good pickup there by Renner as he got out to about the Kaufman's 49-yard line before being taken down.
So the Lions get a first down just on 2 plays with Daniel Renner carrying the mail. Nice start for the guys up front, led by center Nick Just. Man in motion is Hale. Snap, Ramos looks right, he finds Whitus. Whitus has got a little bit of room to run, maybe a gain of 3.
Yeah, it looked like he got out to about the 45-yard line there before being stopped.
Call it a gain of 4, so it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Lions, who've gotten positive yardage on all 3 plays so far tonight.
See Aiden Lewis as well as Chris Whitus both go to the left side while Damian Bankston sets up on the right.
Greg Washington now back in the starting lineup at H-back. We're thinking that maybe Ethan Brand might be one of those players who's injured tonight. Hale once again in motion, moves to the right side, fakes a handoff, and the pass is deflected and falls incomplete.
Yeah, so that'll bring up 3rd and 6 here for Greenville.
That was a blitzing linebacker on that play for, that might have been Fanis in there on that rush and just got his hands up in front of that pass. 2 receivers right, Whitus to the left, Whitus to the right. Washington set up on the left side this time. 3rd and 6 for the Lions. Once again, Ramos looking downfield, has some protection, and the receiver is just hammered from behind, but there's no call. Thought maybe that guy might have got there a little bit early.
Yeah, it looked like it too. He was just mauled by Cole Martin, number 12, the sophomore linebacker for Kaufman.
I think that pass was intended for Renner coming out of the backfield. So that'll bring up a kicking situation. That'll bring Joshua Rojas onto the field.
Rojas standing at his own 43-yard line, getting ready to punt the ball away.
The junior is doing double duty since Caleb Yost and Reagan Goggins have been out for punting. So here's Rojas' first kick, and it's a good one. Hits at the 10, and unfortunately for the Lions, the Greenville Lions, it goes into the end zone, so that'll be a touchback. Good job by the receiver for Kaufman letting that one go.
Yeah, definitely a good call as the Greenville Lions were about to be on him real quick and bring that ball out to the 25-yard line.
Actually, I think when the punts go into the end zone, Bentley, it's a little bit different. They bring it out to, I think, the 20. And, of course, on the kickoffs, if they go into the end zone, they bring it out to the 25, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Unlike the pros who bring it out to the 30 now.
Yeah, you're right. That was a misspoke on my part.
All right, so the Kaufman line set up in a shotgun formation, very similar to Greenville's, except it's quite a bit tighter. No really wide receivers. Fakes a handoff. Burleson rolls right, finds his man. That's Miles. And Miles picks up good yardage up to about the 40-yard line of Kaufman.
Picture but no sound. Picture but no sound.
Hopefully we are not having any additional technical difficulties. Bentley says we're okay. Thank you for our viewers keeping us up to speed with their comments on YouTube. And there's a stoppage of play, and the referee signals for the play clock to be reset. I think that's Miles split out to the right. We'll probably call his name frequently. Running back up the middle off left tackle. Short gain. Nice defense that time by Greenville.
Yeah, and that was number 33, Mateo Carrillo, on the carry for the Kaufman Lions.
Yeah, they just brought him up from the JV, and he had 100 yards rushing last week, they said. Must be a real talent.
Yeah, definitely trying to see what he can get going.
Second, we'll call it 9. Burleson rolls right, looks downfield, and he has a receiver. Beautiful throw and catch. Receiver goes out of bounds at the Greenville 23-yard line.
Yeah, I believe that was number 0, Jeremiah Brown, on the catch there for the Kaufman Lions.
Well, Burleson loves to roll to his right and throws pretty well on the run. That was an absolute dart.
Yeah, great pass there by Burleson for sure.
So that'll be a first down for Kaufman with 9:04 remaining. They're at the Greenville 23-yard line already after just 3 plays, 2 of them through the air. And now we have a stoppage. It's a referee's timeout. And Miles goes off to the sideline. He probably got some kind of an equipment problem. That's a guess on my part, Bentley.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, though, because I don't foresee them having him miss very many plays. Looks like they're bringing in number 1, Dominique Carrillo, in his place.
So Burleson will take the snap. Or not. Another stoppage.
There's a flag on the play.
It's a procedure penalty against Kaufman. And the head coach has called the entire group over to the sidelines for a discussion. The head coach, by the way, is Jeremy Burleson, so I'm suspecting he's the quarterback's father.
I think you're probably right.
Again, nice night, big crowd for both teams. Kaufman has traveled well. Of course, all they have to do is get on Highway 34 and just come north, and they'll find the Greenville Lions Stadium. Just look for the lights. All right, man in motion is Miles. Burleson hands off. Lots of room on the right side. Still going down at the 15-yard line. Boy, he could have ridden the truck through that one.
Yeah, he really could have. He was able to pick up quite a bit of yardage there and bring it up for an interesting situation here for Kaufman. But there is a flag on the play, so we'll see what that could potentially be.
Looks like a holding call going against the Kaufman Lions. So that'll negate a portion of that gain. It's one of those penalties that if it's a spot foul, so the 10 yards is taken from the spot of the foul, not from the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so we'll see how far that walks him back.
Was that Carrillo on the carry again?
It was.
They have several sophomores on this team, including Carrillo. One of which is a defensive linebacker, Cole Martin, whose name we called earlier, who was actually a starter last year as a freshman. And here's a pitch that's actually considered a pass. Nice defensive play there by, is that Caleb Yost? Comes up from his safety spot to nail the receiver for a loss.
Yeah, I believe you're right, and that was number 0, Jeremiah Brown, getting tackled there. It looks like it's going to bring up about 3rd and 14 or so here.
It's one of those things that goes down as a pass now, even though it's just a little flip of about, a yard. But that goes against Burleson's stats. I don't particularly care for that. I think they should just call those things handoffs. Here's Burleson. Drops straight back. Great protection. Looking way downfield. Has a man wide open in the end zone, but overshoots him.
Yeah, and that was Brown. Would have been a touchdown if it had been a little bit more on target, but thankfully overshot him, and that's going to bring up 4th down here.
We don't have the height and weight of the players anymore, and that's a difficulty for us up here in the booth. But looking at Burleson, he looks to be about 6'4" or 6'5" to me. So he's a long drink of water, and he can certainly throw the ball.
Yeah, he really can. He's got a really good presence about him in the pocket.
It's 3rd and 15 for Kaufman. Ball's now back at the 28-yard line of Greenville. Under center is Burleson this time, and he's rolling right under pressure. Looks downfield, has his man, overshoots him. There were 2 receivers in the area, but neither could get the catch.
And intended receiver was number 12, Cole Martin. They overshot him, and it went into the hands of another receiver, so kind of got lucky there till he wasn't able to hold on to it. So it'll bring up 4th and 15 here for Kaufman.
Now Kaufman running into a little bit of a problem offensively, so let's credit the defensive line putting some pressure on Burleson, causing that overthrow on the last 2 plays, actually.
Yeah, great play for sure, and that was number 26, Trenton Clayton, pursuing Burleson there on that play. Looks like they're going to go for it here.
Not surprised. It's a little too far for a field goal. Fakes a handoff, looks downfield, plenty of protection. Once again, a good throw, but very well defended there by the Lion cornerback, and that falls incomplete, so that's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and I believe that was number 8, Tyler Trexel, in on the play.
He timed that beautifully. Just got to the receiver just about the same time the ball did, and that's what you have to do to prevent those completions.
Yeah, there was a very, very late flag that came in right at about the 6-yard line, so maybe it was for the celebration. Not quite sure what it was for. We'll see that here in a second, though. They may be picking it up, too. We'll see.
Was there that much of a celebration?
It didn't look like it to me, but they didn't throw it till after the guys had finished celebrating.
They called it. They called it an unsportsmanlike conduct against Greenville. And that's hard. That's a hard one to stomach right there, because that 15-yard penalty, or half the distance, actually probably be a 13 or 14-yard penalty. It's going to move the ball back inside the 15-yard line, where Ramos will have to start his offensive set.
Yeah, and it's kind of a crazy call, as we saw Collins didn't really like that, and because all I really saw was, I believe it was Trexel and not sure who else, but somebody else go up with him for a shoulder bump, I guess you could say, and that was really about it. Then they went to their sideline, but I guess the refs are calling that tight tonight.
Well, I wonder if there might have been some kind of taunting or something, because, celebration after a play like that is, I'd celebrate if I made the play.
Yeah, it's to be expected, especially on homecoming.
All right, so it's 1st and 10 for the Lions. We'll call it the 13-yard line. Handoff this time. Renner does a good job of breaking one tackle, but then is brought down probably for no gain.
Yeah, it looked like he broke the initial contact by number 40, Noah Garrett, but then was eventually taken down by number 12, Cole Martin.
Yeah, Martin he's all over the field, plays a little bit of a wide receiver, as we heard earlier, and he's already been in on a couple of tackles. He must be quite a talented kid to be a starter as a freshman.
Yeah, well, it sounds like he's already got some colleges possibly looking at him too, just as a sophomore, so be interesting to see what happens with him over the next few years. 2nd
and 10 for the Lions. Ramos takes a snap, drops straight back, good protection, looks downfield, has Whitus. Let's see if that's complete. They're calling it incomplete. It was a low throw. Whitus went down to try to get it, but must have just scooped it off the turf.
Yeah, and Ramos put that one right where nobody else could get to it, but it was just, like you said, just a little too low, and they'll bring that ball back and be 3rd and 10 here for the Lions.
Damian Bankston, Chris Whitus, and Caleb Hale have been doing most of the receiving here lately. So let's see if one of those three will be on the tail end of a pass from Ramos on this 3rd down and 10.
Well, you bring up Bankston, and that's something that's kind of interesting to see him getting so many catches and targets in the offense, because typically at this level you don't see him use a tight end too terribly much for receiving, but he's definitely a big part of it. So we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back after this word from GEUS.
That was a Greenville timeout, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Ramos once again looks downfield, rolls to his right now, and gets pressure and has to just throw it out of bounds. So 4th down upcoming for the Lions as they're unable to move after that 15-yard penalty set them way back. Good turnover on downs by the defense, but now Rojas is going to be punting from deep in his own territory, somewhere around the 1 or 2 yard line. The last snap on the punt formation was high, Bentley, and let's make sure or hope that the deep snapper can get a little bit better job this time. Rojas is not a big guy. You don't want to be centered too high. Here's a snap. Rojas gets it away. It's a good kick. It's going to come down at about the 45-yard line. Fortunately for the Kaufman Lions, it bounces backwards and will be downed at the 42-yard line by Adrian Hawkins.
Yeah, good kick there by Rojas, as that turned out to be about a 41-yard kick there. So really good kick there, and but it's going to set Kaufman up with some pretty good field position here.
And looking at the Lion defensive line, it appears it's Cash Garcia and Armstrong Teeters, who is just a sophomore, and then in the middle is big number 7, LeGarren Savage. So those are the guys up front. Linebackers appear to be, looks like Jaden Johnson's in there.
As well as number 26, Trenton Clayton, and number 18, Jamorion Hamilton.
All right, so 1st and 10 for Kaufman. Hand off to the running back, and he breaks through and picks up 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, and that was number 16, Caleb Yosten, on the tackle after running back broke a few tackles there.
Was that Martin on the run? The number 12?
I think it may have been.
Oh my goodness! You talk about versatility,
well,
guys.
Especially when he's listed on the roster as a linebacker / quarterback.
Yeah, he's a backup quarterback. So interesting situation. 2 receivers wide right for Kaufman. Man in motion is Miles. Burleson rolls right. He's got Miles in the flat, and he's going to keep it, and he runs for a 1st down before he's forced out of bounds. Looks like he's got pretty good foot speed for a big guy.
Yeah, he does, and I believe that was number 18, Jamorion Hamilton, that took him down there to stop him from picking up any more yardage.
1st down for Kaufman in this scoreless game, 5:57 remaining here in the 1st quarter with the clock stopped with the out-of-bounds tackle.
We'll give Kaufman 1st and 10 here from the Greenville 28-yard line.
1 running back next to Burleson. Miles split way left. H-back on the left side. Running back coming this way. Still going and steps out of bounds at about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, forced out there by number 0, Daniel Renner. So first time calling his name tonight, I believe, other than on the run game a little bit earlier, but probably be calling his name a lot so far.
Yeah, Renner's one of those Greenville Lions that's been forced to play quite a bit on both sides of the ball. And he's not a big guy, but he's extremely fast. And his forte, clearly, in my opinion, is on the defensive side.
I would definitely agree. So, and there was even a part 2 earlier in the season where he was doing a little bit of punting for the Lions.
Okay, 2nd and 5 for Kaufman, man in motion. Hand off to the running back, straight up the middle, very close to the line to gain. Teeters in on the tackle.
Yeah, and that was number 33, Carrillo, on the carry for the Kaufman Lions.
Carrillo doesn't look like a really big guy. He's one of those short, squatty bodies, but he did a good job of keeping it low and going through the hole.
He's
Go ahead, I'm
definitely
sorry.
stocky. Looks like a little bit like a tank running through there.
Yeah. 3rd, and we'll call it a long one for Kaufman. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line of the Lions. 5:12 remaining here in the first quarter. Still scoreless. Under center is Burleson. Hands off to the, is that Brown on the short? And he's around the right side and down the far sideline for a Kaufman touchdown.
Yeah, so Brown was able to get around the edge there and get in pretty much untouched as he was being pursued by several Greenville Lions, but not quite able to get to him before he was able to get into the end zone.
Jeremiah Brown is a wide receiver, but that time he acted like a pretty good running back, and once he got the corner, he was destined for the end zone.
So we see number 24, Matthew Renneria, come on for Kaufman to kick the PAT here.
Yeah, late substitution on the offensive line for the kicking team. Snap is down, and kick is up and good. Kaufman 7, Greenville 0, with 4:59 remaining here in the first quarter.
And we saw number 1, Aiden Lewis, get in there and very nearly blocked that one. As we'll see him probably get back there anytime that Kaufman runs the kicking unit on the field. He's really good at getting around the edge there and getting his hands up.
He certainly is. It looked like a low snap, too, so you got to credit the holder in that situation, getting it down for Renteria. Kaufman has a couple of different kickers. Rodolfo Gaona does most of the work on the kickoffs, and Renteria does the placements. And the punter is the quarterback, Ty Burleson, who we might not see a whole lot of tonight.
Might not, who knows? I'd like to see a lot more of him, but we'll have to wait and see.
Kaufman will run up to the line of scrimmage and fake a kick. No, they kick it this time, and it's taken at the 41-yard line. Nice job over there on a pop-over kick.
I believe that was Caleb Yost for the Greenville. Give Greenville their best field position of the night, I believe, to get us started here.
2 really short kicks by Gaona, so have yet netted Greenville really good field positions. With the exception of that last series, the Lions have enjoyed excellent starting field position. Jaden Johnson in the game now at running back, alongside sophomore quarterback Julian Ramos. Lions hoping to get something going. They had a couple of first downs on their first series. Let's see if they can regenerate. Handoff this time to Whitus, coming out on the right side. Whitus breaks him a tackle, still going. Then he is met by 2 of the Kaufman Lions who treat him pretty roughly.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, that was a good pickup there by Whitus. Pickup of about 7 or so on the play.
Yeah, we'll call it 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. It's what you want to do on first down, is maximize your yardage. Great job by Whitus and the guys up front. 2nd and 3. Whitus in motion. Handoff to Johnson. Johnson's close to the first down. I think he's pushing. He's getting some help from the big guys, and that is going to be a first down.
Yeah, good run there by Johnson, and that's what we saw him do a lot last week. Run right up the middle, pick up about 5 or 6 yards on the play, and they picked up a lot of first downs with Johnson through the first half of last week's game doing that.
Yeah, he's been very effective. He was like 170-some yards against Corsicana, and limited last week due to a nagging injury. First down, Greenville, inside Kaufman territory. Ramos, good protection, looks downfield, brings it down. He's rolling right, and he slides down. I think maybe the coaches from Greenville have decided we can't lose another quarterback. If you're running the ball and you got somebody coming to hit you, just get down.
Well, we don't have a too deep chart up here, but without Brand, Rodriguez, or Sanders tonight, I really don't know who would be stepping up if Ramos went down, because I didn't see any new names on the roster.
And it looked like there was a penalty on the play. Holding call. It was declined by Kaufman, so it's 2nd and 10. The Kaufman secondary must have had the Greenville receivers pretty well covered, because Ramos had very good protection. Hands off this time to Johnson, coming around the right side. Johnson breaks one tackle and is forced out of bounds after a pickup of maybe 4 yards. Jaden Johnson.
They're going to call it a pickup of what looks to be 7. Bring up 3rd and 3 here. 3rd and 4, pick up at 6.
Johnson's not a tall guy, but he is a strong runner. He was the Harold Banner Player of the Week after his performance against Corsicana. 3rd and a long 3. 3 receivers right. Johnson gets the handoff again. He breaks it. He's down to the 30, 35, 25, before he's pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like he went down right at about maybe the 24-yard line, maybe 23 there after a really good pickup. Hit some good blocking down the field, but defender was able to break free and just barely get him down.
And another Greenville first down. The Lions pretty effective here early in this one on offense. They're giving the Lions from Kaufman all they want right now. 2:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Kaufman leads by a touchdown. 1st and 10, Greenville. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line of Kaufman. Hand off to Johnson. Not a whole lot going this time. Mario Valentine. I don't know what he was doing, but he's out here in the right flat knocking people over, and the ball was run up the middle. Mario Valentine missed last week's game against Terrell, and he's a vital component at right tackle for the Greenville offense. 2nd, we'll call it 7 for the Lions. The Red Lions. We'll call it the Red Lions and the White Lions. What do you think, Bentley?
Sounds good.
Johnson this time is caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like he was able to break for maybe a pickup of 1, if that, but that's look like it's going to bring up about 3rd and 6 here.
Yeah, that's what we'll call it. 6 yards to go for the Lions. Johnson getting the bulk of the carries here after Renner took the first couple of series at the running back spot. Johnson's another guy like Renner who plays both ways. Really effective linebacker for Greenville. 50 seconds remaining and counting. Hale in motion. Actually, that's Whitus. Ramos is complete to Johnson, and Johnson moves forward. Gets like a first down. Yeah, that's going to move the chains.
And that was a great play by Ramos there. He was quickly under a lot of pressure, but was able to find Johnson, and they were able to pick up a first down. Yeah, the Lions a fresh set of downs from the Kaufman 19-yard line.
Little screen pass, maybe?
Looks like it.
All right. Nice connection by Ramos to Jaden Johnson for a first down. Inside the 15-yard line of Kaufman. Lions on the march. Johnson gets the handoff again and busts through for a gain of about 5. Running behind the big guys up front on the left side. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Lions on the march trying to tie this one up. They trail Kaufman by a score of 7-0. And we'll take a break, and we'll hear from Greenville Electric Utility Systems. And Bob Muty alongside Bentley Love back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium for the start of the second quarter. Very competitive game at this point. The Lions offense has been moving the ball, just haven't been able to crack the end zone. They're setting up right now inside the 10-yard line of Kaufman as we begin this second quarter. Second, we'll call it a very long 5 yards to go. Julian Ramos, a sophomore quarterback in there. Hands off to Johnson. Johnson's got some room, and he busts into the end zone for a Greenville touchdown.
Yeah, great play there by Ramos as he had a lot of blocking there to help him get in. And that's what we see by Johnson quite often for the Lions.
And let's credit the H-back in there, and the guys on the left side of the line of scrimmage opened a beautiful hole for Johnson, and he busts through for a Greenville score. Now Rojas will be set up for the extra point, unless Greenville decides to try something different. They're lining up like they're going to go for two. Kind of an interesting call.
Well, it is, but they could be sitting there thinking it's homecoming. We're going to get aggressive here and see what we can get going.
Whitus in motion. Ramos rolling right. Has a man in the end zone, and it's caught for a Greenville conversion, 2-point conversion. That's either Bankston or Johnston.
That was Bankston there to bring this.
Tell you what, I got to give props to Julian Ramos so far.
That was a great play there by Ramos, great catch by Bankston, and that brings us to a score of Greenville Lions 8, Kaufman Lions 7.
Well, we said at the beginning of the game that anything can happen on homecoming night, and I'll tell you what, that's a very aggressive call by Coach Collins.
Hey, but I liked it, though. You got to be aggressive in a game like this.
Well, you're 1-7. You have very little to lose, and that's going to fire up the crowd here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium as the Lions jump in front 8-7 over Kaufman. That's the first play of the second quarter, so there's 11:54 remaining here in the first half as Rojas tees it up at the 40-yard line for Greenville. The wind conditions tonight it is blowing, and it looks like maybe it's blowing across field more so than either north or south. Cool temperatures. Normally the wind's out of the north in conditions like this, but let's see what Rojas can do with this kick.
Two guys back for Kaufman. I believe that's number 0, Jeremiah Brown, as well as maybe number 11, Cameron McLean.
And it's a short kick taken at the 27-yard line. Up the middle he goes. Still going. Now he breaks to the right. He's loose at the 50, the 40, the 30. Down and wrestled out of bounds at the 20-yard line with a penalty, so there might have been either a horse collar or a face mask on the defender. That great kick return by number 20 for Kaufman. I believe that was Damon Blair.
Yeah, I believe it may have actually been number 26, Justin Prox, who talked to some guys from Kaufman before the game, and he said that guy had a kickoff return for a touchdown last week.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. 6 looked like a 0, and Prox was one of those guys we were told to watch out for on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and it looked like that was a face mask call on number 18, Jamorion Hamilton. So that's going to give Kaufman the ball right at about the 10-yard line of Greenville. So Greenville got a short field here to defend. Yeah,
it's one of those half-the-distance penalties, so it's going to be first down and 10, but they can get a first down just inside the 1-yard line. Ty Burleson takes a snap, hands off up the middle, and still going, and down at about the 2 is Carrillo, I believe. Sophomore Mateo Carrillo on the carry. Good hole up front created by the guys in the middle of that offensive line for Kaufman's Lions. 2nd and 1 for a first down, 2 for a touchdown. Might be a great thing to get moved up from the JV, get 100 yards your first game, and obviously having a pretty good night tonight so far. And he gets the handoff again, and he's in the end zone for a Kaufman touchdown.
Yeah, so that was a quick drive there by Kaufman, but of course they didn't have very far to go with the penalty and everything, placing the ball at the Greenville 10-yard line.
Yeah, Prox's key kickoff return set them up with great field position. Charles Lions jump back in front. And lining up for the kick extra point will be Matthew Renteria. Let's see if Lewis can get in there again. Once again, he's in there, but the kick is up, and it's good. So Kaufman 14, quick 14. Lions from Greenville 8. Lots of offense. I like this game. We got something going, Bentley.
I do too. I could get behind a game back like this if each team goes down and scores, as long as the Lions keep putting on 2 extra points afterwards, keep them ahead.
Yeah, this is one of those good games to call. It's competitive, and the Lions from Greenville have decided that they're going to stand up and fight tonight.
And that's what you want to see every night, but definitely on a homecoming night.
Yeah, shorthanded. Despite that fact, they are moving the ball smartly on offense, and defensively they've had 1 turnover on downs already. Unfortunately, that time, as we said, Kaufman didn't have very far to go to penetrate the goal line. Greg Washington standing at the 35-yard line for Greenville to receive this kick. As Kaufman approaches the ball, you'll see some of the guys drop back. This time they fake it. So now Yost and the receiver on the far side drop back to the 35-yard line. Deep for Greenville or Hale. I think Hale and or maybe Pierre and Whitus. Here's the kick. Once again, it's a short kick. Yost calls for a fair catch, this time at the 27-yard line, so not quite as good field position to start. But let's see if Ramos can get the troops going again.
Yeah, we'll see what he can get going. I think that was probably a good call there by Hale. He may have picked up a yard or 2 more before being taken down, but I think it was a good call to fair catch it there.
11 minutes exactly remaining in the first half of this one. We got a good one here, folks, at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. Bob Muty and Bentley Love with the call. Julian Ramos, sophomore quarterback up from the JV, putting on quite a show.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times when you see a quarterback get in there, and this is his first game starting, but see a quarterback get in there from JV, they're a little nervous, but he seems to be pretty calm in the pocket and not letting it get to him at all.
And fortunately for him, he's getting good protection thus far from the offensive line. Whitus in motion, goes behind, handoff to Johnson. Johnson is roughly handled after a pickup of maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call it a pickup of 2, so it'll bring up 2nd and 8 here for the Lions. Johnson trying to get something going there, but wasn't quite able to break free as he had 3 or 4 Lions on him.
Yeah, running behind Davenport and Braden Maps on the right side that time, and nice job by that defensive end from Kaufman to stuff that one. 2nd and 8 for the Lions. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Ramos almost kept it. Looked like he had an option there. Might have wanted to keep that and go around the right side, but ends up handing it off. And Johnson gets good yardage.
Yeah, it looked like a pickup of maybe about 3 or so there. So it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Was I seeing things, or did he look like he wanted to pull that thing out?
Oh, I definitely think he did. I was worried we were going to see a fumble there, as it was an extremely late exchange, but Johnson was able to hold on to it and pick up a few more yards.
Well, you figure that Kaufman defense is going to be looking for Jaden Johnson, so a fake to him might be in order. And there is a fake to him, rolling right, and the throw is over the head of Greg Washington. Ramos just a little bit high on that toss, and that's going to bring up a punting situation for Rojas again. We got Ramos and Rojas.
So Rojas will be standing at his own 21-yard line, getting ready to kick this one away. So punting situation, but not a lot better punting situation than last time.
Yeah, Greenville did get some positive yardage there on those first 2 plays. Unfortunately, the pass falls incomplete. Here's the snap. Good one. Rojas on the rugby style. Very good kick. Comes down, is fumbled, and then picked up. And good coverage by the Lions. Bring the receiver down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, several lines in on the play, but the first one to make contact, it looked like, and take him down was number 18, Jamorion Hamilton, as well as number 40, Eddie Nepean, in the end for the Lions on the tackle.
All right, let's see if that defense can put a stop to Kaufman's offense, get the Greenville offense back on the field. Pretty good starting field position for Kaufman. Senior quarterback Ty Burleson, again, assuming son of head coach Jeremy Burleson, will be at the controls, and he clearly is a very poised and polished quarterback. And he's got a series of really good receivers led by Aljor Miles. Fakes the handoff, looks downfield. Miles is going deep, and the throw just couldn't get to it. Pretty close there.
Yeah, good throw, and he had Miles had his separation there, but it was just a few yards to the right and wasn't quite able to get under it and catch it.
Burleson threw that pass about 53 yards. So he's a tall drink of water and really has an arm. Going to be a 2nd and 10 for Kaufman. 9:24 remaining here in the first half. 14-8, Kaufman leads. Man in motion. Burleson was under center, and this time Carrillo is stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great tackle there by the Greenville Lions to, looks like they may give him a yard. So bring up 3rd and 9 here.
There was LeGarren Savage on the stop from his nose guard position. 3rd, we'll call it 9. We'll give Carrillo a yard on that play. So the Greenville defense trying to get a turnover here on downs. Hand that ball back over to Julian Ramos in the offense. 3 receivers to right for Kaufman. Burleson takes a snap, rolls right, gets a little pressure, looks downfield, has his man, quickly brought down by Trexel, but that's Chance Fanis on the reception, and that's going to be a Kaufman first down.
Yeah, he had a little bit of time there and was able to find his receiver and make a good pass there and pick up first down.
Burleson really does enjoy throwing on the run. He's rolled out to his right. Of course, he's a right-handed quarterback, so that makes for an easier throw. But he clearly is very comfortable throwing on the run.
Well, and he's really good at it, and that's not something you see too often at the high school level.
1st and 10 for Kaufman. This time, straight drop back by Burleson. A little pressure. That was Garcia forcing him out of bounds. And a holding call is going to go against Kaufman. Actually, that was number 26, Trenton Clayton, who was pursuing the big quarterback. So that'll be a 10-yard penalty. It'll go against Kaufman. So they'll get the play over. It'll be a 1st and 20 once they respot the ball.
And Clayton's a name that Trenton Clayton is a name that we didn't call too terribly much with Waldrop playing, but with Waldrop out tonight, opens up the opportunity for Clayton, and he's making the best of it as he's been pressuring that quarterback several times tonight.
Yeah, he came from the right side, or possibly from the middle linebackers. That's where he's set up right now. Hamilton is the far side linebacker, and I think maybe Jaden Johnson is the near side. So it's set up in a 3-3 defense with 4 defensive backs for Greenville. 1st and 20. Rolling left this time, and under pressure, ball is fumbled. And I think Greenville may have covered it.
Yeah, and it looks like that was stripped by number 18, Jamorion Hamilton, and then jumped on by the aforementioned number 26, Trenton Clayton.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a great play by Hamilton. He just stripped that ball from Burleson, and Clayton, man, it's the first time we've been calling his name all season long, and he makes 2 plays back-to-back.
Yeah, and Clayton's a junior, so we'll be having him next season and maybe see a little bit of a bigger role for him with Waldrop, the senior, graduating.
And, of course, Hamilton's also a junior. So 1st and 10 for the Lions of Greenville right now. Once again, the Greenville Lions are in red with white helmets, and so that's why we'll call them the Red Lions. Here's a handoff to Johnson off right tackle. He gets minimal yardage.
It looked like a pickup of maybe 2 or so on the play. We're going to call it a pickup of 1. Bring up 2nd and 9 for Greenville.
7:20 remaining here in the first half. 14-8 Kaufman. Lions after the turnover. Fumble created by Hamilton, recovered by Clayton. Let's see if Ramos can get something done through the air. 3 receivers split wide left. Now he's going to hand off this time, and Johnson pushes forward off right guard for good yardage again.
Yeah, pickup of about 4 or 5 there. We're going to call it 4, so we'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Keep going to the well, you just wonder how long they can stay with the run game.
Well, I'm a little surprised, too, that we haven't seen him bring Tobias Abram in yet today's game.
Yeah, 3rd and 6 here for Ramos. In motion is Whitus coming to the left. Another handoff to Johnson. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, and he gets hammered down at about the 22-yard line, well short of the line to gain.
Yeah, so it'll bring up 4th and 2 here, as I'm sure we'll see the Lions keep the offense on the field.
Well, this is an area where Rojas could conceivably kick a field goal, because he's had a 43-yarder earlier in the season, his only field goal of the year. In fact, probably his only field goal attempt that I remember. Offense is still on the field. Play clock down to 9. 4th down, we'll call it 3. Ramos looks downfield. I think he was trying to set up a screen. Now he's going to run for it, and he will not be able to get to the line to gain. So the Lions will turn it over, and they can't take advantage of that great field position, Bentley.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, as they moved the ball about 8 yards or so on that drive, and so it'll give Kaufman the ball from the Kaufman 22-yard line here. That
might have been a little bit of inexperience showing on Ramos's part there. He didn't have his first option, and instead of looking for a second option, he just tried to make it with his legs. And I don't think running is really his strong point.
No, I don't think so either. I think Rodriguez was pretty well rounded in both areas. Sanders was more of a runner, and Ramos is more of a thrower.
1st down and 10 for Burleson. And up the middle, the running back goes for about 7 or 8 yards. It might have been Prox on the carry.
I think you're right.
The numbers are very difficult. The Kaufman Lions are in white jerseys with gold pants and black helmets, and the numbers are in gold. And my eyes just struggle
mine too.
to call the numbers. We'll call it 2nd and 3 for Kaufman. Up the middle, bouncing off tackles for a 1st down is the running back. They're doing running back by committee, kind of what Turrell did last year.
Yeah, they are, and I think that was number 33, Mateo Carrillo, of course. The 50s are pretty easy for me to pick out. The 20s and 30s are hard to see.
We have 4:25 remaining here in the first half at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. Band's getting ready. Kaufman leads 14-8. 1st down, looking way downfield and throwing, intended. Oh, man, Renner almost made a try for that, and the ball went over his head, intended for Jeremiah Brown, both zeros, I think. And Renner had a shot at getting an interception. He just jumped a little bit too soon.
Yeah, but great coverage there by Renner nonetheless.
Yeah, he was in the area where he was supposed to be. So Burleson's not afraid to air it out deep on 1st downs because he feels confident that he can get the necessary yardage on the other 2 plays. He looks to his left. It's a bubble screen. It's successfully completed and going to be a first down for Kaufman.
Yeah, it looked like he was tripped up there by, it looks like number 1, Aiden Lewis there, but he was able to pick up the first down nonetheless.
Ball's up to the 46-yard line of Kaufman. First and 10, Kaufman with the full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. Lions have 2 if they can get the ball back. Play clock at 12 for quarterback Ty Burleson, the senior. Takes a snap, fakes a handoff, rolls right, fakes a quick throw, and finds his man at the 40-yard line. That might be Miles. And the junior receiver has another Kaufman first down.
Yeah, and that was, in fact, number 15, Miles, the second in on the catch, and number 16, the homecoming king, Caleb Yost, in on the tackle for Greenville.
Got to be impressed with the passing game of Kaufman thus far.
Yeah, when you look at their stats on Max Preps, they've had a pretty good passing game all season, and Greenville's been doing a pretty good job of slowing it down so far tonight.
Trip receivers to the left. Good setup for a handoff, and it indeed is up the middle where Carrillo breaks it, and he's brought down from behind, and that is going to be a horse collar. And I see 2 flags on the play, and refs quickly are getting involved with a couple of players. One of them is Mark Dumas, who lost his hat, so he'll sit out a play. Whitus goes in to replace him. Let's see what happens when the referees figure this one out. There were 3 flags that went down that I saw, Bentley.
Yeah, I saw 2 over there on the 30. Didn't see the third. I didn't see the third one.
Right now, the ball is spotted at the Greenville 18-yard line. I thought it might have been a horse collar tackle.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that from up here too.
But the play on the far side of the field between Dumas and a couple of receivers was what got my attention. Unsportsmanlike conduct against both teams. So that they'll negate one another, and we'll start fresh. Will that take away the gain? I wonder, or whether that was after the play. I'll have to wait and see if they reset that to the original line of scrimmage.
I think it was after the play.
Yeah, it could have been with all the activity on that far side between the receivers and Dumas, and nothing with any kind of a horse collar tackle on Carrillo. So we'll call it after the play, so no effect on the spotting of the ball. Well, another first down for Kaufman, and the line chain gang is now moving the sticks.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to give Kaufman first and 10 here from the Greenville 18-yard line.
They lead the Lions 14-8 with 2:56 remaining and trying to make it bigger. Be nice if the Greenville defense can put up a stand here and keep the Lions from Kaufman out of the end zone. Ty Burleson, the quarterback, good-looking young player, probably going to get some looks at the next level. Hands off to Carrillo. Carrillo going to the left side, cuts it back. He's brought down at the 15 or 16-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like a pickup of about 4 or so on the play.
Call it the 14-yard line. Call it 2nd and 6 for Kaufman. Still sitting on those 3 timeouts, so they've got plenty of opportunities. You wonder if maybe Greenville could take advantage of the clock here and call a couple of their timeouts should Kaufman score.
I think that's definitely in the possibility.
2nd and 6, 2 receivers right. Hand off to the wingback, coming in motion, and he's forced out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and he was forced out there by Yost.
I'm sorry, that was the 8-yard line, not the 14.
This will be first and goal here from the Greenville 8-yard line.
1:57 remaining. Clock stopped on the tackle out of bounds. Burleson has two receivers left, one to the right. Looking for the corner of the end zone, and he overshoots his man, incomplete.
Yeah, I believe that was Mark Dumas in coverage.
That'll stop the clock. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line for Kaufman. Plenty of time remaining. Good job by that Greenville secondary. They've got their hands full tonight, I'll tell you, with this core of receivers from Kaufman.
Yeah, you know, the obvious name to look out for was Aljor Miles, the second coming in tonight. But Jeremiah Brown has been a big part of that passing game, too.
This time he hands off to the running back, and the running back is going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. That's Mateo Carrillo, a sophomore, for 6 points.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising to me that Carrillo is just called up from JV after the fact that we heard he had a 100-yard game last week and then how well he's been running the ball tonight.
Well, I'm wondering if both Rose and Bowers were out last week, too. So, you know, you lose your top two running backs. Sometimes you got to dip down into the JV roster, and apparently Mateo Carrillo was at the top of the list. The kick by Renteria is up and good. Kaufman 21, Greenville 8. We'll take a break and listen for this message from Matthew Middleton's employer, GEUS.
Public power means that your utility is community-owned and not for profit. It is a commitment to our community. We pride ourselves in local leadership and accountability. At GEUS, our mission goes beyond delivering electricity. It's about providing low-cost yet reliable and high-quality electricity, television and internet services, and giving back to the community we live in. At GEUS, public power means local leadership and a shared vision for a brighter, more connected Greenville. Together, we're lighting the way to a better future.
And we're back here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium as we're getting ready to await the kickoff by Rodolfo Goana.
Deep for Greenville, Pierre Dunn and Chris Whitus. Here's the kick. It's a short kick. Once again, Caleb Yost calls for a fair catch at the 31-yard line. That's where Greenville will start, Bentley.
Yeah, I got a minute 46 left to work on the clock and 2 timeouts, so be interesting to see what they're able to do here. Maybe some passes to the outside part of the field, try to get out of bounds and stop the clock, and then, of course, those 2 timeouts to work with if anything goes over the middle.
They've been able to get Whitus open over the middle, but they haven't been able to connect. So here it is, 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the right, 1 split to the left. Ramos drops straight back, gets good protection. And he throws, and it's almost intercepted, intending for Chris Whitus. Linebacker dropped right into the lane that time. That was Chance Fanis, who had a pick 6 last week for Kaufman against Corsicana. That being up 2nd and 10. 1:41 remaining after the clock stopped. Greenville does have 2 timeouts remaining. Bentley Love now at the camera, so he's doing double duty. Handoff this time to the running back. Short yardage for Greenville. And they may be satisfied just to run the clock out, Bentley.
Yeah, I think you may be right. It looked like he may have picked up about 2 there on the play, bring up 3rd and 8, but I think you're probably right. We may see him just kind of run the clock out here.
Got a timeout on the field. Let's see which team called it. Could be advantageous for either team, and apparently it was Kaufman who called the timeout, so they're confident they're going to get the ball back with time remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, well, and with Kaufman doing that, they definitely could be looking to try to stop the Lions here and maybe call another timeout to force them to punt, and then they'll have maybe some decent field position might be what they're thinking to try to put up maybe another field goal or maybe a touchdown here.
Greenville desperately needs a first down here so they can continue this drive and at least have possession of the ball as they go to the locker room. don't want to be turning the ball back over to Ty Burleson and his receiving core. Those guys can do some damage.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
And Mateo Carrillo as a running back's done pretty well, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking at the rosters and everything, Carrillo and Brown and Burleson were the ones most worried about, but it's been Mateo Carrillo in tearing up the lines, Greenville lines so far.
So we have 1:33 remaining. Third down, we'll call it 9 for the Red Lions of Greenville. Renner in the backfield behind Ramos. Low snap. Screen pass is over the head and almost intercepted. Let's see.
It looks like the refs are signaling that ball did hit the ground.
Well, that's a break for the Lions as Ramos, once again, was a little bit too tall for Chris Whitus. I think maybe he would have had some room to run, don't we?
Yeah, I think he would have. And tough break for the Lions, but would have been an even tougher one if that had been intercepted.
Well, Ramos is upset with himself, I'm sure. He knows he can do better than that. That was an easy pass, and he just kind of flicked it over the head of his receiver. Joshua Rojas now with the clock stopped on that incomplete. Fourth down. Kaufman looking to block, and they almost get to it, and the kick goes straight up in the air and bounces back, hits a Kaufman receiver, and it may have been recovered by Greenville.
And it looks like it looked like that was maybe number 18, Jamorion Hamilton, running off with the ball and handing it to the ref there.
That was a crazy, crazy play. But the ball was short, and it bounced backwards and hit one of the Kaufman players, unbeknownst to him, and then was kicked around before the Lions got to cover it. So let's see if the referees are huddling, but I can't imagine what they could call other than Greenville ball.
Yeah, it looked like for a second they signaled it was Kaufman's, but I don't know. When you have a player run off with the ball, it looks pretty clear-cut Greenville ball there to me. Because I didn't see a Kaufman player have the ball when they blew the whistle dead.
No. Head referee over talking to head coach Jeremy Burleson on the far side. In fact, he's got a colleague with him here, so maybe he needs a little moral support when he hands out the bad news to the Kaufman coach.
Yeah, I guess, they say something about strength in numbers.
Yeah, I like it. Very unusual. I mean, that was a clear-cut recovery, I thought, by Hamilton. I can't understand exactly what the discussion's about, but here comes our referee back into the center of the field to make the call.
Well, and there's a little confusion at first I could understand because both sides booted it around, but then it looked pretty clear to me that 3 or 4 Lions jumped on it, and then Hamilton had the ball. So
Coach Collins is coming out to speak with the referee, and he doesn't have his support group, but they're putting the ball back at the Greenville 33-yard line, and they're lining up for another kick.
Yeah, so not quite sure what that's all about.
Well, that's crazy turn of events that went against the Greenville Lions. They're at the same line of scrimmage, so it's almost like the play didn't happen.
Real interesting play, or play lack thereof, I guess.
Wow. That's a hard pill to swallow for Coach Collins. It looked like the Lions were going to get the ball back with a minute and 14 remaining and maybe do something with it. Now they're back in punt formation. They need to block better this time. Rojas gets a good snap. Gets a much better kick away this time. The kid's got a good leg. He backs the guy up. The only thing about his punts, Bentley, is they always bends backward.
They do. And I don't know if that has something to do with how he holds the ball or what, but yeah, they always tend to bounce back against the Greenville Lions.
A far better kick by Joshua Rojas that time. He really got the foot into that one. That line of scrimmage was at the 21-yard line, and Kaufman is going to be set up at their 22. So that's pretty close to 50, 60 yards right there.
Yeah, definitely, and it was a really great kick there. for the Lions and gave them some pretty good field position here for their defense to try to hold Kaufman from scoring with a minute left.
Well, I think maybe some blitzing linebackers would be in order here to try to put some pressure on the quarterback Burleson.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He can do some damage if you give him a lot of time. All right, one blitzing linebacker, that's Clayton, and Burleson completes the pass to Miles at the 44-yard line, and he goes out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, and that'll give the Kaufman Lions a fresh set of downs here.
Burleson to Miles is quite a connection, Bentley.
It really is.
That first down for Kaufman. Just under a minute remaining. Lions trying to hang on and keep the score at 21-8 going into the locker room. Burleson hands off this time to Carrillo. Carrillo's got some room to run, breaks a tackle, still going, and he's inside the Greenville 40-yard line before he's brought down.
Yeah, and there were several Lions in on that play. It looked like number 5, Chris Whitus, as well as number 8, Tyler Trexel, the main ones in on the tackle, but about 4 or 5 guys there making the play.
Clock is stopped with the first down conversion. Ball spotted at the Greenville 39 with 42 remaining. Burleson looks left. Oh, it's intercepted down the far side. I think it's Renner. Oh, he's pushed out of bounds by Burleson.
And that was a great pick there by Lewis. Looked to get back to about the 30, maybe 25-yard line there before being pushed out of bounds by Burleson.
Man, my mistake there. I just assumed that was Daniel Renner. But I'll tell you what, the way Lewis was running, he looked like he had Renner's speed.
He definitely did. So it's going to give the Lions some pretty good field position here with 32 seconds left. Folks, he's pushed out at about the 31-yard line.
He was going full bore when he caught that thing and went right down the sidelines. Had it not been for Burleson's athletic ability and his speed, that would have been a touchdown for Greenville.
Well, and it almost kind of makes me slightly wonder if he hadn't stopped, if Burleson wouldn't have blown right past him. But that's, something hindsight.
Change of pace might have worked. Ramos drops straight back, has plenty of time, and his pass is almost intercepted, intending that time for, it might be Higgins?
Yeah, I think you're right, and I believe that was number 26, Justice Prox, on the almost interception for Kaufman. And he'd like to have that one back. And Ramos would too, as that one was nearly picked off.
My goodness. 26 seconds remaining, second down for Greenville. See if they can get something on the board before halftime. They go to the handoff this time. And short yardage, and probably they'll take a timeout.
Yeah, I would imagine so, as it looks like they still have 2 to burn here.
And Damian Bankston a little bit slow to get up. That was Renner on the carry. Bankston is feeling a little bit of pain right now and into the game to replace him as Jacob Irvin. So it's a Greenville timeout. 19 seconds remaining. Third down, we'll call it 5 yards to go. But the important thing, Bentley, is the fact that there's only 19 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and seeing how they still have one more timeout, I could see him maybe potentially running a pass play here, try to get a little bit closer, maybe take a shot at the end zone, something like that. And 19 seconds, if they could at least pick up another touchdown would be great, but at least another 10 or 12 yards, they're in a good situation to run Rojas out there for the kick.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and if they're thinking field goal, they might want to keep that timeout in their pocket.
That is true.
21-8, they trail Kaufman. They have a 2nd and 5 at the Kaufman 26-yard line. Sophomore quarterback Juan Ramos is at the controls for Greenville. He takes a snap and looks right, throws downfield, and it's incomplete. A penalty on the play. That could go against the Lions.
Yeah, we'll wait to see what that penalty was.
Well, if it's a holding call, that Coach Burleson for Kaufman will have an interesting decision to make. He could decline the penalty and take the incomplete and bring up 4th down, or he could take the 10 yards and get Greenville out of field goal range.
It looks like he's going to take the 10 yards.
Well, that gives Ramos and the Greenville offense an opportunity to get a conversion here. The Kaufman linebackers are dropping deep into a prevent-type defense, and Ramos is going to have trouble finding somebody open, I believe. You almost think that it might be a good idea to run some kind of a draw play or something and get Renner up the middle. Now Ramos is he's looking to it. Now he's rolling to his right, and he just throws it out of bounds. No receiver anywhere in the area. So I don't quite understand, if he's rolling to his right, why there isn't somebody over there that he could throw to.
Yeah, well, and it could have just been play looked a little busted, but that's definitely what Ramos is most comfortable doing if the line collapses, is rolling to his right. So you would think they'd have somebody over there as a bit of a safety valve.
Well, there's 7 seconds remaining, so Greenville's going to take their final timeout and try to come up with the magic play to get 4th down and 15, or 4th down and touchdown from the 36-yard line of Kaufman.
Yeah, and I think touchdown's definitely the route they're looking here, because only other option is to pick up a 1st down and pick it up right at the out-of-bounds mark and get out of bounds to stop the clock, and they got to do all that in 7 seconds.
Yeah, you can't have the reception be in the field of play because there just wouldn't be enough time to run the field goal team on for the attempt, even with the clock stopped for a 1st down. But they've got some road to hoe here for 4th and 15 for 1st down.
Yeah, and if they were having about 15 seconds on the clock, then they might could get up there and maybe spike the ball quick enough, but that would even be a long shot at that.
And now
point.
Rojas is lined up for what would be a 52-yard field goal. How about this, folks? You don't see too many 52-yard field goal attempts, but here's Rojas's kick, and it's off to the left and short, but I commend them for the effort. Why not, right?
Yeah, when I don't know really what other chances they had other than I guess taking a deep shot at the end zone there, but
yeah.
I feel like those plays may have had about the equal chances of working out almost.
Yeah. Well, Rojas punted the ball very nearly 55 yards on the last go-round, and he's kicking from a placement. Hey, he got the ball. It went through the back of the end zone, so it was far enough, just wasn't straight enough.
Yeah, and didn't quite have. I mean, had almost enough on it, but not quite as it wasn't quite high enough to go through the uprights. But it looks like Kaufman's going to run a play here with 2 seconds left.
Yeah, they are, and they just hand off to Carrillo, and the clock runs out as Carrillo goes across midfield. Some great downfield blocking by Kaufman results in one of the Greenville players going down hard, but that's the end of the first half. Kaufman leads 21-8.
And we're going to take a brief break here, and then we'll be back here in a little bit with David Claiborne, I believe, to talk over some stats with Bob.
Yeah, we haven't seen David tonight, but he's a normal halftime guest, and we hope that he'll have an opportunity to join us and give us some statistics from this very entertaining first half. But we'll be back with David or with more commentary after this word from GEUS.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
New, better, fast. The same excellent reliability and hometown service you've always counted on, now with faster speeds. Whether it is streaming, gaming, surfing the web, or working from home, GEUS is connecting you to the world. Sign up today at GEUS.org or by calling 903-457-2800.
Hometown internet service and support that fits your budget. GEUS has you covered. Choose from 3 amazing packages. Need basic browsing? Try GEUS 50. Streaming and gaming more your style? GEUS 320 delivers. For the ultimate experience, try GEUS 500 and keep the whole family connected. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows or competing online, GEUS Internet keeps you connected. Visit GEUS.org or call 903-457-2800 to find the perfect plan for you today.
GEUS is proud to be the first municipally owned electric utility in Texas, dating all the way back to 1891. And we're proud to be the first city-owned cable and internet provider in Texas, too. But that's the past. What matters today is where we're going.
Manny's job is making sure
Today's GEUS is providing electricity and high-speed internet to a changing, growing, dynamic community. The future of Greenville and Hunt County matters to us because we live here too. We're your friends and neighbors, the folks you see at the grocery store and at church, who just happen to work for a public power and internet provider. And we're proud of it. We take care of the people who walk in the door because they're not strangers, or shareholders, or customers. They're our owners. GEUS is owned and governed by the citizens we serve. We're overseen by a completely local board, made up of regular citizens who make decisions that benefit our community first and foremost, not necessarily distant investors or Wall Street. And our mission isn't just a feel-good idea about serving our neighbors. We also aim to be world-class at everything we do. That's why we've been nationally recognized for how reliable our electric service is, and it's why we're known for excellent customer service and competitive rates. We believe in being locally run and in being the best. GEUS, hometown service, world-class reliability.
And we're back again here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. My name is Bob Muty. I'm alongside David Kleinberg from the Greenville Herald-Banner, who provides us with statistics from the first half of every game. And David, once again, we're thankful for your coming and helping us out here.
Well, it's my pleasure. That was quite an interesting first half, and I'm still wondering what happened on that punt.
Yeah, we were wondering the same thing, but
have you figured it out?
No, it's water under the bridge now. So.
You know, I see a short punt. It goes back. I thought it hit a Kaufman player.
It did hit a Kaufman player, but
scramble for the ball. Jamorian Hamilton runs off the field with the ball, and we have a 5-minute conference, and then they do a redo.
Yeah, the only thing I can figure is there was some kind of a stoppage before the snap. It had to
blew
be.
Or something?
Yeah, inadvertent whistle maybe.
It sure took them a long time to figure out what they're going to do next.
Yeah, I was saying on the air, that's a tough pill for Collins to swallow because that was a clear recovery in my mind.
It looked like it to me.
Yeah.
And I used binoculars. I saw the ball hit the Kaufman player.
Yeah, it definitely hit the guy.
Hit the Kaufman player, and I saw the Lions end up with it, and I just don't understand that one. But going to the stats, I've got Kaufman 14 first downs, Greenville 5. Kaufman 116 yards rushing, Greenville 84. Here's a big difference. Kaufman 121 passing, Greenville 11. So the totals are 237 to 95. A big difference in the passing. 6 of 13 for was it Burleson?
Burleson, 6 for 13.
6 for 13 for Ty Burleson for 121 yards.
Okay.
He's on pace for a 2,000-yard season. He's coming in with, 1,800-something yards passing. So
Yeah, he's a player. There's no question about it.
He throws the ball well downfield.
He can throw it long, too.
He's got a heck of an arm. And then, we got sophomore Julian Ramos. He's learning. I got him 2 of 11 for 11 yards. Chris White says 1 for 4 yards. Jaden Johnson had 1 for 7. It was good to see Jaden Johnson back running that football.
Yeah, I was not sure he was going to be able to go tonight.
I got him with 12 carries, 55 yards. He's running hard. Daniel Renner had 5 carries for 20 yards. Hadn't seen Tobias. I don't know if he's playing tonight or not. He usually comes in the second quarter and gives them a lift.
Yeah, he hadn't been on the field yet, so he's down there. So maybe we'll see him in the second half.
Who's healthy and who's not this season? It's unfortunate. I wish we could have one game where everybody's supposed to be there.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably see Abram in the second half because Johnson was going both ways quite a bit there, and he'll need a break.
Well, I saw Bryson Sanders warming up on the sideline. So
really?
I'm thinking if he's good to go, we'll see him second half.
I didn't even notice that he was dressed.
He was dressed and throwing the ball and looked like he had a little zip on the ball. The way it is with high schools, they don't tell you the status of injured players like in days gone by. Even colleges don't do that anymore. I just know that somebody's injured. They may play, they may not. I don't get a list of who's on the injured list and who's not. We just kind of figure it out as the game goes along, who's healthy and who isn't. And,
well, I was going from your article in the newspaper that he wasn't going to be one of the players to watch, so I assumed that he wasn't going to be in uniform.
Well, I was in doubt when I put players to watch because, I didn't know the week before that Aiden Lewis wasn't going to play. He makes that great
field goal block.
And is a hero at the end of the game. And when I saw him come out and for the next game in street clothes, that was my first chance to realize he's not playing tonight. Ooh. But I saw him tonight and, saw the Lions were well represented in the homecoming court. And
right, yeah.
That was interesting, and had a football player, homecoming king, Caleb Yost, and volleyball player is Trinity Washington's homecoming queen. That's interesting.
I'll tell you what, talking about Lewis, that was one heck of an interception.
He showed some speed on that.
My goodness.
I thought for a second he was going to score.
Yeah, I thought he was.
That would have been a big lift. Oh. I'm a little surprised with Kaufman. This is a team that's 4-1 in district play. I was expecting them to come out gangbusters, and I hadn't really seen it. And I'm thinking this is going to be an interesting third quarter.
Well, again, homecoming. Greenville kids might be just fired up,
We know Greenville kids are always fired up on homecoming. I've been compiling it. Last 31 games, 16 wins, 15 losses. And some of those homecoming wins were over state-ranked teams. There were a couple of line teams that only won one game, and it was on homecoming.
Wow.
I've always said homecoming brings out the best in the Lions. This is one of their better games.
Yeah, let's hope that they can get something going here in the second half. And what you said about Sanders really gives them another option. If
he's healthy enough to go in there, I'd put him in.
Well,
that was an interesting 53-yard field goal attempt there. And,
I liked it. I liked the call.
Well, I was a little surprised they didn't go for the field goal earlier when it was 4th and, yeah. That would have been more within his range, but, he's got a pretty strong leg.
He does.
He gave it a good try. You don't see too many 53-yard field goals in high school.
You took the words. That's exactly what I said during the broadcast.
You would know which of these kids are capable of just your ties to soccer.
Yeah.
We've seen some guys,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was that Jones kid that hit some long ones and ended up kicking in college?
Yep, sure did.
He had a strong enough leg. There's been some place kickers come through here. Archer had a pretty good leg, Archer O'Neill.
Oh, he sure did.
Yeah, and he was accurate. But he was, of the place kickers that played here, he was one of the better ones that on extra points.
Yeah.
He was pretty pretty much a guarantee on the extra point,
Yeah.
which you like to see in high school especially.
Yeah.
You know, it's iffy on field goals, and a lot of high school teams don't try very many, but they sure want to get that extra point. You know what? I cover 6-man too, Greenville Christian school games, and in those games, they get 2 points for an extra point kick.
Yeah.
One to run and pass. Well, I watched them beat Happy Hill, a very good Happy Hill team, came down to missed extra point,
Oh, wow.
68-66.
Woo-wee.
So extra points, I don't care what game it is, 6-man, 11-man, college, NFL, it's important to make those.
Yeah.
I've seen some NFL kickers that, they miss 4 or 5 extra points, and they're gone.
Yeah, that game last night, I tell you what, the Houston kicker had all kinds of problems. He makes a 43-yarder, and they take it off the board. Then he misses about a 25-yard chip shot.
But those place kickers, I kind of feel sorry for them. They're only as good as their last kick.
That's right.
And they can make, I remember Mark Mosley, what he make, 16 in a row, and he got in the playoffs and missed one. And people remember the one he missed, not the 16 in a row that he made.
Hey, we were talking about games in the area, and you talked about Wolf City and Tioga tonight.
Yeah, I wrote this down. If I wasn't at this game, I would have liked to have been at that game.
Yeah.
Wolf City has the leading rusher in the state.
Oh, my goodness.
H.D. Davis. This guy has 2,143 yards, 27 touchdowns. He's averaging 12.8 yards a carry, 267.9 yards rushing per game.
Wow.
I do an athlete of the week. He's been athlete of the week 3 times.
I saw he was in there today.
His mom was in there buying extra papers one time. I said, I got to watch out. I could name him athlete of the week every game because the last game he had 350 yards rushing against a good team.
Jeez.
Tioga has this quarterback. His name is, what is his name here? Rocky Urich. Rocky Urich.
Okay.
He's averaging 333 yards passing per game.
Are they they're in the same district,
Same
obviously.
district, yeah.
Are they tied for first?
Yeah, they are. This is a battle for the district. Yeah, they're both 4-0. This is for a district championship.
Okay.
And you got one team that runs the ball really well, and the other team that passes the ball really well. But Wolf City, they've made a change, and they put a new quarterback back there and made Noah Adams. And last week he threw for 211 yards and 5 TDs.
For heaven's
So
sake.
that could be the difference when they play Tioga.
Wow.
Look at some other games. It's always interesting when Quinlan Ford and Canton play.
Yeah.
Canton always has good team. Canton 7-1. Quinlan Ford 6-2. Quinlan Ford lost a tough one last week to Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale's always good.
Yeah, they're strong.
And they always have some McArdles. The dad played quarterback in the Army. I think he's finally the last one of his sons has graduated. But then they have McDill's.
Jeez.
Jill McDill is the basketball coach over there. She won state at Rockwall with an undefeated season, and every one of her kids can play. So if you line up against one of those players for Sunnyvale, you better be ready to play. But let's see, Lone Oak, that was a tough loss they had last week to Grand Saline. Grand Saline's that game was 15-7 going with 5 minutes to go, and Grand Saline made some plays, and Lone Oak suffered some injuries. But I think Lone Oak should bounce back against Harmony. There's some teams off this week. These open dates, some of them are different. Royce City, Cattle Mills, Celeste are off this week.
It sounds like some of these area teams are going to be making the playoffs for sure.
So, I expect Quinlan to make the playoffs.
Wolf City, clearly.
Commerce has got a chance to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Wolf City for sure. Lone Oak for sure.
Caddo's had kind of a rough year. You think they got a
Mills
shot?
is in the running.
They got the shot. Okay.
Cattle Mills, their quarterback Alfonso Gonzalez went out early in the year with a broken hand.
Yeah.
And he's come back.
He's back now?
And he's back. And he's a playmaker.
Oh, yeah.
I've named him athlete of the week several times.
Yeah.
And one time he was the state athlete of the week.
Yeah.
He had a game last year against one of the Dallas teams. He had about 263 yards rushing, 260-something passing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It'd be nice. I always like to see playoff games staged here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. So maybe if we get one of those Maybe get one of those teams to in the area to qualify and get them to play here.
Biggest crowd for a high school game that I know of in this stadium was when Fannondale and Cattle Mills played a while back.
Uh-huh.
That was the Fannondale, Farmersville.
Farmersville, yeah.
Farmersville and Cattle Mills. That was a Farmersville team that won state.
Yeah, and they're good again this year.
They're good again, and they throw the ball well. Farmersville's good.
Yeah.
But that year they beat Tatum in the state finals, and they played in Corsicana.
Okay, we're going to have to shut it down here, David, because we got the Greenville Band coming on. Once again, thanks so much for your input and your knowledge, and we'll talk to you again next week from Crandall in the stands, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Boo, okay.
Hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah, we'll be right back, folks. Thanks again, David.
Ladies and gentlemen, no flaming flashes. The flashes were the director of Anna Strickland and Lakeisha Barrett. Now performing the Greenville High School's award-winning Live Pride Band. The Live Pride Band features 94 cheers under the direction of Head Director Dr. Matt Oldie, Assistant Director Luke Daly, and Production Director John McCarran. Color guard instruction by A.J. Pond, drill design by Steve Cross. Congratulations to Live Pride Band on their recent superior and excellent Joel Reed. Drum majors are Ironor Escobar, Joe Bocadilla, and Mariana Ochoa. The Live Pride Band is proudly sponsored by Lions Bank, Guadalupe Valley, Chick-fil-A, Fuller Nursery, Greenville Masonite, and Loving Memory Colin Potiphar, McDonald's, the Rapper Clinic, Blake Brothers, Cold McCoy, Sunship Window Paint, Texas Farm Bureau Entrance, the Texan Theater, New Exotic Local, Nice Festival, Texas, and Memphis Signature Landscape. Our section week is the Drum Majors. And happy birthday to Drum Major Ironor Escobar. Please enjoy this year's Live Pride marching production, Full Throttle.
And we're back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. My name is Bob Muty. Alongside me is Baseball Bentley Love. Matthew Middleton at the controls for Juice. As the Lions come back onto the field to begin the second half, they trail Kaufman 21-8, and they will be kicking off to Kaufman to start the second half. So the Lions from Kaufman will have the offense on the field first of all. Bentley is checking to see if we've got any scores from around the district.
Yeah, so Crandall is in Terrell tonight. And the most recent score I have is from the first quarter, so they're probably at halftime now. But in the first quarter, Crandall was up 13-0 on Terrell. Poteet is playing Ennis in Ennis. Don't have a score for that game. However, Corsicana is playing Midlothian Heritage at Midlothian Heritage, and Heritage is leading that game 35-7.
Yeah. Well, Heritage was predicted to win the district. Of course, they went deep in the playoffs last year, so it's no surprise that they are undefeated, and it looks like on the way to victory number 6 tonight against last place Corsicana. Had a really good game, as David Claiborne and I were discussing at halftime, between Tioga and Wolf City, up in Wolf City. So just north of us, folks, here, we've got a what looks to be a barn burner, and Bentley's going to see if he can get a score for us. But in the meantime, Joshua Rojas will be lining up to perform the kickoff duties. With his leg strength, he could kick the ball out of the end zone. Okay, I got to say hi to a guy. So Bentley's going to carry the kickoff, and I'll be right back.
Rojas getting ready to kick it off here. Kaufman with 2 guys back deep. Rojas approaches, kick is up. So a short little pop-over kick, taking it about the 30. It's muffed, but he picks it up. That's number 26. Breaks free here. Gets up to about the 20 or so before flying out of bounds. There's a flag coming in here kind of late. We'll see what that's on. I believe that was number 26, Justin Prox, on the return. So he had a big return earlier in the game and another big one there. See what this penalty is and then get it for y'all. Looks like personal foul on Greenville there. So that's going to be some more yardage there for Kaufman, as they're going to bring him in right to about the 9-yard line of Greenville. So short field for Greenville to defend here is less than ideal situation to get us started in the second half.
Thank you, Bentley, for covering for me there. I was saying hi to an old friend I hadn't seen for a long, long time. He's grown up since the time I started working with him in the 2nd grade. Here we go. First and goal for Kaufman. Up the middle goes Carrillo. Brought down with a nice tackle.
Yeah, Carrillo gets to about the 6-yard line there, so pick up of about 4.
Was that Yost again on the tackle, or was that Aiden Lewis? Nice.
I think it was Yost, but I'm not sure.
Okay, ball spotted at 7, so a very short gain for Carrillo.
Johnson, excuse me.
He doesn't have to call me Johnson. All right, here we go. Just starting here in the second half. Kaufman under center is Burleson. The ball is fumbled. I think maybe the Kaufman running back got back on top of it before Armstrong Teeters could get on it.
Yeah, and that was number 0, Jeremiah Brown, who was in motion, and I think he was just in motion, maybe as a bit of a fake, but Burleson tried to hand it off to him, and he wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, a little mix-up there. Broken plays happen, even with senior quarterbacks. Brown also a senior, so those guys are finishing up their season. Rolling right is Burleson. He's under pressure. He throws short and incomplete. Good pressure that time by Jaden Johnson and Trenton Clayton.
Yeah, and it looked like that pass was intended for number 19, Brody Burks, and definitely would have been completed if there hadn't been so much pressure on the quarterback there. So good job by the Lions.
Yeah, he was open in the about 5 yards deep in the end zone. So it's third down now. Actually, it's fourth down and 7. So the Lion defense is trying to make a goal line stand here, folks, with 10:29 remaining in the third quarter. Ty Burleson under pressure, throws, and that was, I couldn't tell whether it was caught or not.
Yeah, it was, and that was just a perfect example of being in the right place at the right time for number 0, Jeremiah Brown. And flag for excessive celebration as he jumped on one of his linemen's shoulders. And they're going to throw a flag on Greenville earlier in the game for that little celebration. I think that definitely warranted one.
Well, he went way up in the air to catch that, didn't he? Or was it the guy in the back of the end zone that caught it?
It was the guy in the back of the end zone. So
okay.
I'm not sure who the first one was, but the first receiver bounced off his fingers,
and
then Brown just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Okay. See, the young eyes could see that. The older eyes completely missed it. Anyway, it results in a Kaufman touchdown, and that might have been Miles whose fingertips got a part of that, but Brown gets the 6 points. So if you've got Jeremiah Brown in your fantasy league, you just got 6 points. 27-8 is the current score as Renteria is lining up for the PAT. Aiden Lewis is on the left side. He's the designated kick blocker. Here's a snap. And the kick is low and incomplete.
It is blocked by Aiden Lewis.
Oh, wow.
I think he got a hand on it, and it was low enough that I'm gonna give him the credit for it.
Well, he's getting some hand slaps on the way off. So let's credit Lewis at least for getting pressure on Renteria and forcing the ill-advised kick. 27-8. Then the score remains. Kaufman over the Lions, and the Lions will get their first opportunity here in the second half, Bentley.
Yeah, well, Lewis was a fantastic defensive back for the Lions, but he's a really good guy on that special teams unit blocking kicks or blocking field goals, because he's blocked, I think, probably about 4 or more this season.
I wonder if he's on the sprint relay team too. He really looks like he's got some speed.
Yeah, he definitely does.
We saw him on that interception on the far side of the field there in the first half. Late in the first half, he caught that thing on the dead run, and we thought he was going to score, but Burleson was able to force him out of bounds, and the Lions were not able to take advantage of the field position. Anyway, after that penalty for excessive celebration, Gowana will be kicking off from his own 25-yard line, so the Lions should get really good field position to start here. It is a short pop-over kick. It's fielded by Pierre Dunn. And he's up the middle. He's loose. And he gets into Kaufman territory down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, and that was number 82, Pierre Dunn, who did a fantastic job there of flipping the field and giving Greenville some great field position here to start their first second-half drive.
I was really concerned when he let that ball bounce, but fortunately for him, it bounced right to him. And he did something with it.
Yeah, it could have gotten ugly quick, but he took it and made something great out of it.
So the Lions have field position again, and this time, Bentley, they really need to take advantage.
They definitely do.
They've had too many opportunities, and Ramos hands off this time to Whitus, who was in motion, and Whitus is thrown for a loss, trying to get around the right side.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a loss of about 2 yards there, 1.5 yards, so not what you want to see on the first drive, or first play of the drive, but will be interesting to see how the Lions come back on 2nd and 11.
It seems like Coach Cody Martin is not quite confident in Ramos's ability through the air. We thought he threw the ball pretty well, but he's had lots of problems with only 2 completions so far tonight. Second, we'll call it 11 for the Lions. Washington switches sides. Hands off to Jaden Johnson. tries to follow Washington, and once again, Kaufman is there to stop Johnson for a loss.
Yeah, so it's going to back him up about another yard or so. So to bring up third and 12 here.
Kaufman's defense is trying to make a statement here in the third quarter. Trying to match their offensive success. Renner now on the field. Johnson's going to get a break.
You'd think we'd see a pass play here, but with a Renner in the backfield, you never know, because if he gets around the edge, he can definitely pick up 13 or 14 yards.
Yeah, it's 3rd and long. Ramos takes a snap, looking downfield. He's going to throw deep. And it was tipped and almost complete. That was widest down there, but the defender got a hand on it. It might have been Martin down there again.
Yeah, I think it was. Maybe it was a combination of Martin and Brown both in coverage there. Not quite sure who tipped it. But
Cole Martin's a linebacker, and he was 20 yards deep in pass coverage. Got a hand on that one. Almost dropped into the hands of Chris Whitus, though, for a big completion. 4th down, however, and 12 now for the Lions.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, Martin's listed on the depth chart as a linebacker / quarterback, but based off what we've been seeing in this game, I think he's better classified as just an all-around athlete.
Yeah, in fantasy football, they call him WRT. I don't know whether you're a fantasy player, but I got introduced this year. We're going to take a timeout right now and get this word from GEUS.
GEUS trims trees all year long because we want first-rate electric reliability. And you know what that makes? Mulch. Lots of mulch. Mountains of mulch. And if you know someone who needs mulch, just come to 502 Wesley Street to pick it up. You'll have to load it yourself, but you can take as much as you want for free. Because it's just one more way GEUS is delivering hometown service and world-class reliability.
All right, we're back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium where the Lions are facing a 4th and long. Ball's placed at the 38-yard line of Kaufman. Lions struggling to get anything going on offense with sophomore quarterback Julian Ramos at the controls. Chris Whitus goes in motion, low snap, protection and the ball is off the hands of Greg Washington, hitting right between the 2 and the 5, and he dropped it. And that's unfortunate because that was a good throw by Julian Ramos, right on the money. And at the 20-yard line, Washington's not able to hang on.
Well, and we see Washington's a good blocker and a really good running back, and with what appeared to be an injury to Damian Bankston, we see him playing a little bit more of a tight end receiver role here, and if it would get a little bit better, but if we'd had Bankston in on that play, Bankston would definitely have been in that situation, and we've seen him have some really good hands so far.
Yeah, and Greg Washington is really, really upset. He knows that he had a chance there to get a big-time conversion, and he just let it slip through his fingers. So the senior running back really despondent on the sidelines as Kaufman takes over. Burleson fakes a handoff, rolls right, looking downfield, has a short pass. Receiver bounces off a tackle from Renner and goes out of bounds, picking up very close to the necessary yardage for a 1st down.
And that was number 12, Cole Martin, there on the reception for Kaufman.
I'll tell you what, the guy is everywhere. He is. This sophomore is quite a player for Kaufman, and you wonder if he's going to be the heir apparent to the quarterback job next year.
That could be.
He's not nearly as big as Burleson, who we guess stands anywhere from 6'4" to 6'5". He's rolling left now. Finds his man. That might be Miles on the far side, who's brought down at the Greenville 45-yard line. Or is that Brown again?
I believe it is Miles, and it looked like he was taken down by maybe number 2, Caleb Hale, or number 5, Chris Whitus. Can't quite tell on that far sideline.
Well, Burleson was only 6 for 13 with 1 pick 121 yards in the first half, but he's lighting it up here in the second half. 1st and 10 for Kaufman. Oh, wow, that was Carrillo, and boy, he knocked down in a hurry. Great play defensively that time by Jamorian Hamilton.
Yeah, way to get back there and blow that play up and back them up about 2 yards there, bring up 2nd and 12. So.
That was what they call a run blitz, and Hamilton was all over the running back. 7:30 remaining here in the third quarter. Kaufman leads Greenville 27-8. Senior quarterback Ty Burleson is at the controls for this strong Kaufman offense. Hands off to the running back, and a pickup of maybe 5 yards.
Yeah, it looked like probably about 5 or so. It looked like it's going to bring up about 3rd and 7 here for the Kaufman Lions.
We've got the Lions against the Lions here, so it's difficult when we say, well, that's a great play by the Lions, because then you don't know which Lions. So it's the red Lions and the white Lions, but whatever. The Kaufman Lions are leading 27-8 and looking at a 3rd and long, Greenville 41-yard line. Burleson takes a high snap, hands to Carrillo. Carrillo's got a first down, knocks a man over and bowls his way to inside the 30-yard line of Greenville.
Yeah, so a pickup of about 10 there on that play and give Kaufman a new set of downs. While we have a second here, it looks like Tioga is actually up on Wolf City right now, 38-14, with less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, not too many fans here in Hunt County are happy, because I'm sure the Greenville fans are not happy about being down by 19 points here, and up in Wolf City, that battle for first place looks like it's going to go Tioga's way. 1st and 10 for Kaufman here. In motion was Miles. Handoff to Carrillo, and once again, the Lion defense steps up. That might have been Savage on the tackle.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was, and that was a big play there by the Lions defense.
Jamorian Hamilton in on the play as well. I'll tell you what, Hamilton was really missed last week against Turtle.
Yeah, he definitely was. Hamilton is a huge playmaker for the Lions, and his presence is felt.
I'm a little surprised at that Crandall Turtle score.
I am too.
I'll try to get an update on some of those district scores as we go through this one. 2nd and 12 for Kaufman. Pressure on Burleson. He throws deep, and he overshoots his man, looking for Miles down at the 5-yard line in the coverage of
Trexel.
Tyler Trexel. Good job by number 8 for Greenville.
Laid out to try to catch that one, but it was out of bounds, and he wasn't able to bring it in. So got a little bit of updated scores. Crandall and Terrell are tied up at 14 in the third quarter. Corsicana is down 51-7 to Heritage. And then, of course, still no score for the Poteet Ennis game.
Well, that Terrell Crandall score is more like it. I was really impressed with Terrell last week, particularly that quarterback, Cooper Kennemer. Ty Burleson drops straight back, gets pressure, steps out of a play. There's a holding call on the play as Burleson scrambles his way down inside the 10-yard line. That one's coming back.
And so a great run there by the quarterback, but unfortunately for Kaufman, it will be coming way back.
And let's credit that defensive line for Greenville and the linebackers. Those 6 guys are doing a great job of getting some pressure on the senior quarterback.
Yeah, they really are. And obviously, ideally, the pressure would result in a hit or sack or something like that. But you start getting those linemen to hold, and that's very successful too.
Well, good job by the defensive coordinator, maybe calling some blitzing situations too, because, you know, if you let Burleson stand back there and have coffee, he's going to find his receiver 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, he is. And anything you can do to make him uncomfortable is a big benefit on the Greenville Lions side. So bring up 3rd and 20 here for Kaufman.
Yeah, good opportunity for the Greenville defense to get this ball turned over. Fakes a handoff. Under pressure is Burleson. He's scrambling to his right and decides just to throw it. It's out of bounds, intending for Miles, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, so that'll bring up 4th and 20 here for Kaufman.
You think that Coach Burleson will go for a punt or try to keep his offense on the field?
It's kind of tough to say because their quarterback's their punter, but it looks like they're going to go for it.
Well, their defense has been so good here in the second half. You could afford to give up the field position even with an incomplete pass. Let's hope the Red Lions can do it. And Burleson drops back in the short punt formation, and I think unfortunately hit that one a little bit too good. And nice try by the coverage guy, and he says they're going to maybe spot that at the 1 yard line. The coverage player jumped up in the air into the end zone and swatted the ball back. And the referees are trying to decide now. I think they're saying it's a touchback. That would have been a fantastic play if that kid had made that.
Yeah, it really would have been. It really, really would have been. But thankfully for Greenville, they're not gonna call that, and that's gonna come out to the 20. It looks like.
Yeah. Now the Greenville offense back on the field. They have really struggled ever since that first or second drive in the game, where Jaden Johnson got the Greenville's touchdown and then also got the 2-point conversion.
Yeah. And we haven't really seen too terribly much of Jaden Johnson since then.
Yeah, you wonder if Tobias Abram might be in the backfield now, giving Johnson a spell, or looks like maybe Renner is in there next to Ramos. We have not seen Tobias Abram yet tonight. Rolling right, Ramos, and he throws low and incomplete. Intending for Washington, maybe?
It looked like it was.
Greenville offense just unable to really sustain any kind of a drive with 4:35 remaining here in the third quarter. Bob Muty and Bentley Love with the call. 27-8 the Lions trail. The Red Lions trail. Kaufman's Lions. Renner in the backfield with Ramos. Whitus in motion. Hand off to Renner. Renner's got some room. Steps over a tackler and is thrown down after a significant gain.
Yeah, it looked like a pickup of about 6 or 7 there on the play.
Renner really used his speed there. He hit the hole quickly and actually hurdled a defender on the way to that, we'll call it an 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, I'm going to call it 3rd and 2 here now for the Greenville Lions.
Lions could really use a first down, Bentley.
They could.
Greg Washington set up H-back right. Whitus once again in motion. One receiver split wide right. That's Hale. Hand off to Renner. And Renner's got the first down, breaking tackles. He's up outside the 35-yard line. Move those chains.
And that's exactly what they needed on a play like that. Give them a new set of downs, looks like from the Greenville 37-yard line.
So the offensive line is generating some run offense now since the passing game has been struggling. Coach Collins and Coach Martin have decided we're going to try the running game again. Then Daniel Renner has been successful in the last 2 carries. 1st and 10 Lions. Once again, here comes the halfback pass, and it was incomplete, intending over there for maybe Aiden Lewis.
Yeah, I believe that's who was up for Greenville, and big defensive effort made by the Kaufman defensive back on that play.
Yeah, that's a play that we saw last week where Whitus goes in motion and he stays deeper than the quarterback, and the quarterback throws the pass backwards, looking for Whitus to have the opportunity to throw the second pass downfield. Unfortunately, it just didn't work. Good job by the Kaufman D-back. Handoff this time to Renner. Renner is tripped up after picking up 5 or 6 yards. Looked like he had some room to run there if that guy hadn't got him.
Yeah, you're right. It looked like a pickup of about 5, and if he'd been able to jump just a little bit higher, he might would have been able to hurdle him, but taken down nonetheless after a good game there. So 3rd and 5 here for the Lions.
Aiden Lewis in there at wide receiver split on the left side. We do not see Caleb Hale in the game right now. 2 receivers split right. Outside is Chris Whitus. He comes in motion. Here's the snap. Hand off to Renner. Renner's got a first down and more as he's knocked down close to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, really good pickup there after he flipped the field and picked up what looked to be about 13 or 14 yards on that play.
Yeah, the big eaters up front for Greenville are really opening some holes now. This Kaufman defense, which looks so good to begin this half, now seems to be struggling against the run game of Greenville. 2:03 remaining here in the third quarter of a 27-8 Kaufman lead. Julian Ramos, a sophomore quarterback, takes the snap. It's low. Quickly out to Whitus. He's got a blocker in front of him. Nice job by the DB as he plays off Lewis's block and forces Whitus out after a short pickup.
Yeah, it looked like a pickup of about 4 there, so bring up 2nd and 6 for the Lions.
4 yards good on first down, Bentley.
It is. Almost halfway there with 2 downs to go.
Yeah, we see Miles Wiggins in the game for Greenville. He split way left. He hasn't gotten much playing time, but with the injury to Caleb Hale. And there's a handoff to Renner. Renner spins out of a tackle and gets up close to the 40-yard line of Kaufman. Tried to get a read on Caleb Hale, Bentley, if you see him down there on the sidelines.
Yeah, I don't actually.
Just a plethora of injuries this year for the Greenville Lions, and if they've lost Caleb Hale, he's one of the leading receivers.
It looks like they have. I just spotted him.
3rd and 4, the snap gets away. Ramos picks it up and is able to get rid of it to prevent the loss, but that'll bring up a 4th down, and I think Greenville's probably going to get aggressive and go for it here.
Yeah, I think they kind of have to, is they need 19 points and running out of time to get those points. So, but I think you're right. I think they have lost Hale, as I see him standing at about the 35-yard line in what looks to be street clothes. So I don't believe we'll be seeing him again.
Yet another injury suffered by the Greenville Lions. It's forcing Miles Wiggins into the action, and also Aiden Lewis, who normally plays defense. Here's a snap, rolling to his left. Ramos is going to run, and it's just not in the cards as the sophomore quarterback makes another decision to try to scramble for the first down, and just really didn't have enough there.
No, he didn't. Picked up about 3, but he needed 5, and so that'll be a turnover on downs for Greenville as Kaufman will get the ball here at about the Kaufman 41-yard line.
Ramos looks to be a pretty good athlete.
I think he is. I think he's just maybe a little inexperienced, but that'll all come with time.
The question is if Phoenix Rodriguez gets healthy as a freshman. I mean, he's a year behind Ramos, and from what we've seen of him early in the season, I like Rodriguez's chances to win that starting job.
Yeah, I do too. Greenville's definitely going to be in an interesting situation though with those two guys, as well as Bryson Sanders being a junior, so he'll be a senior next year.
Yeah, Sanders is indeed in uniform, but clearly he's not able to go because I think if he were, he'd probably be in the game. He could have gotten a first down on that play right there. Here's the play. Wide receiver takes the handoff and gets about 9 yards for Kaufman.
Yeah, Hale put him to the ground right at about the 50-yard line after a pickup of about 9 there. Pickup of 9, bring up 2nd and 1.
Ball placed right at the 50-yard line with 37 seconds and the clock running. Once again, Kaufman 27, Greenville 8.
28 seconds left here in this third quarter.
Ty Burleson is a senior quarterback for Kaufman. He's got two receivers split wide right, one to the left. Low snap, quick throw out to Jeremiah Brown. Got a blocker up front, and Renner brings him down, but not before he gets a first down. That was Miles out in front, and the D1 receiver, the D1 prospect as a junior, laid some pretty good wood on the D-backs, creating room for Brown to run.
And that'll bring us to the end of this third quarter here as we are going to take a break, and we'll be back for the fourth quarter after this word from GEUS.
Introducing GEUS Smart Pay, a prepaid electric service. The smart way to manage your energy bills. With GEUS Smart Pay, you're in control. No monthly bills, no late fees, no disconnect or reconnect fees, and lower or no deposits. GEUS Smart Pay. Smart, simple, and electricity on your schedule. Sign up today at 903-457-2800.
And Bentley Love and Bob Muty back here at the T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. I understand you've got some information about one of our community partners.
Yeah, so here at GISD, we always really appreciate any community partners that reach out. And yesterday, Hyundai of Greenville actually came up to the school and met with a few of the football players and actually donated $3,000 to the football program to help them buy some equipment as well as safety stuff and all that. So we really appreciate the kind folks over at Hyundai and appreciate y'all's partnership.
Absolutely. I can vouch for the folks at Hyundai, being a Hyundai owner. Back at the action, Ty Burleson under pressure. Oh! He breaks away from a tackle and throws deep and is caught for a touchdown. Oh my goodness. One of the Greenville defenders had Burleson in his grasp and just let him go. And he completes the pass to Miles for a touchdown right at the goal line. Bentley, it's just not our night.
Yeah, no, definitely a crazy turn of events there. That's not what you expect to see.
The Greenville defender, whose number I didn't get, actually hit Burleson, just didn't wrap him up. And Burleson just popped out and then found Miles just standing at the end zone with the guy behind him. Here's Renteria's attempt at the extra point, and this one is good. That brings the score to Kaufman 34, Greenville 8, and we'll be back after Bentley talks about something else.
Yes.
Okay, Bentley, that put you on the spot there, partner.
Yeah, well, I got a chance to talk with Reagan Goggins a few days ago, and
Okay.
All those players that are injured for the Lions, we actually have 5 players that all have torn ACLs.
Oh my goodness!
So tough lower leg or tough leg injury season for the Lions.
Yeah, and Damian Bankston had some kind of a knee injury tonight. Let's hope that's not that serious.
Yeah, I hope we won't have to add a 6th guy to that list.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it's like a MASH unit out there. Crazy stuff. Well, Pierre Dunn and it looks like Daniel Renner's going to be back deep this time, receiving the kick from Guyona.
Yeah, and it looks like they brought maybe Aiden Lewis up to about the 30 where Bankston would typically be. So
we got a lot of speed back there. And it's a deep kick to Dunn. Dunn takes it at the 22. He's up to the 30. Cuts and is brought down at the 34-yard line.
And I don't have a change in score for either of those earlier games that I mentioned across district. However, I do have a score now for the Poteet-Ennis game. Ennis is up in the fourth quarter 56-14 on Poteet.
Oh, boy. Wow, the Pirates have fallen apart.
Yeah, and that game is played in Ennis, too, so that could have a factor.
Yeah, that'll Ennis was tied with Greenville coming into this game, but and Poteet had kind of rallied after beating Greenville. They put up another W the following week, but this time around Ennis decided they're going to improve their record and their standing. I don't think they've got a shot at the playoffs, though, Bentley.
I don't think so either.
First down, Greenville. Julian Ramos looks to the right, finds Whitus, off Whitus's hands, incomplete.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for Greenville.
these little mistakes that the Lions are making are really hurting their flow offensively. I think Whitus probably would have had some pretty good yardage there. Second down and 10 for the Lions of Greenville from their 34-yard line. 11:39 remaining in this one. They trail Kaufman 34-8. Hand off to Renner. Actually, that might be Tobias Abram in the game for the first time tonight. Gets the first carry.
It is. So we see Abram pick up about 5 yards on that play and then come off the field as they replace him with Jaden Johnson, who we haven't seen in a little while.
You know, we've been impressed with Abram. I can't really understand why he's not getting more playing time in there tonight with Johnson having to play both ways.
Yeah, I agree.
3rd and 5. Ramos hands to Johnson. Johnson's got some room. He's up close to midfield and beyond, and he fumbles the ball.
There's a flag on the play back at about the 42-yard line.
Looks like the Kaufman players are signaling they've got the ball. And the referee is indeed pointing their direction. So Jaden Johnson, after a good run, coughs it up, and the Kaufman Lions fall on it for a fumble turnover.
Yeah, and
that penalty was against the Lions, so that's declined. And unfortunately, this offensive drive comes to an abrupt halt with the fumble. Great run by Johnson, just couldn't hang on to the pigskin. Oh my goodness. Really?
Yes.
Nobody caught it? No, I can't believe that. All right, here's 1st and 10 Kaufman. 48-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Wide open is Carrillo. He's down to the 40, 35, inside the Greenville 35-yard line. He could have had his pickup truck once again and driven through that hole.
yeah, he could have. He's taken down eventually by number 8, Tyler Trexel, as well as number 18, Jamorion Hamilton. Number 16, Caleb Yost, was the first one to make contact there, but was unable to bring him down.
Well, when your safety is making the first contact, that's not a good sign.
Not at all. But then again, in a little bit of a different situation, Yost is definitely not your traditional safety. And the second he sees run, he comes up.
Yeah, he's an aggressive player from back there. First down, Kaufman. Burleson takes a snap, hands to Carrillo. I think that's Carrillo. This time, very little yardage.
Yeah, that was Carrillo, I believe, and he looks to be a little shaken up on the play.
That's Jaden Johnson on the tackle.
Well, and Johnson, as a running back, too, probably knows what he's feeling after getting hit like that, as it looks like Carrillo's going to take a break, and I believe he'll be replaced by Justice Prox.
Prox is quite a bit bigger. I would guesstimate Carrillo is probably about 5'8", maybe. Weighs about 170 pounds. He's a squatty guy, but he's been the beneficiary of some tremendous blocking tonight.
Yeah.
And there goes Prox. Prox is brought down after a pickup of about 5. That's Clayton Cameron on the tackle. Clayton Trenton. I'm Trenton Clayton. He doesn't have to call me Trenton, and you doesn't have to call me Clayton. You call me Trenton Clayton.
Gets out to about the 26. Yeah, well, they're going to call it the 27 there before being taken down.
Yeah, Cameron Clayton, unfortunately, is not playing tonight. He's got a knee injury. One of those aforementioned ACLs that Bentley was talking about a minute ago, but good tackle that time by Trenton Clayton, who's getting a first start at linebacker. There's a high snap. Nice job by Burleson just to catch the snap, and he hands it off to Brown, and the wide receiver picks up a Kaufman first down.
Forced out of bound by Tyler Trexel there after picking up the first down, so that'll give Kaufman a first down here and 10 from the Greenville 21-yard line.
The Greenville Lions have had a tough road to hoe, not just tonight. They've had a tough road to hoe the entire season. And all the injuries have just complicated the situation for Coach David Collins. Here's a handoff, and not much going on. This time the Lion defensive line is up to the task.
Yeah, it looked like a pickup of, they're going to say, about 1 there.
And that was Prox on the carry, and Carrillo replaces him. Second, and we'll call it 9 yards to go for Kaufman with 8:22 remaining and the clock running. Kaufman pretty confident about where they stand in this game with a 34-8 lead and marching again in the red zone. Hand off to Carrillo. And once again, I think that's Savage. Actually, it's number 63 in there for Greenville.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz on the tackle.
Ortiz getting an opportunity and doing a pretty good job in there at the nose tackle in place of Ligarian Savage. We also see number 57 in there. That's Dwayne Burry. He's in the defensive end spot on the right side. So some of the Lions are getting opportunities to play tonight, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Burry's just a sophomore. Rolling right is Burleson. He throws into the end zone just out of the reach of his receiver.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, Bob, talking about how it's been a little bit of a rough go this season for the Lions. That's definitely true. However, I will point out, like we pointed out a few times this season, this team is extremely young, and no doubt how this season ends, they're definitely going to take this season and build on it for next year.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if I'm Coach Jeremy Burleson, I'm getting my guy out of the game. There's no reason whatsoever for Ty Burleson to be in this game and to take the chance on getting an injury. He should be on the sidelines with this lead this late in the game. He's back under pressure. This is a time a guy can get hurt, and he goes down with a big loss. Jamorian Hamilton is one of the Greenville Lions responsible for that fourth down play.
Yeah, several lines in on that, Greenville lines in on that play. That's going to be a huge loss. It's not going to come up necessarily as that was a fourth down play, but it's going to give Greenville much better field position than if they just stopped the play right at the line of scrimmage or something.
Boy, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Burleson could have been hurt on that play.
He could have. He went down, and then, just in the process of making the tackle, kind of got crunched a little, and that could have been real bad for Kaufman. I'd be kind of surprised if we see him back out there on the next drive.
So it's a turnover on downs for the Greenville defense, so kudos to them. They have 7 minutes left in this game to try to put something on the board. They've got a sophomore quarterback at the controls. That's Julian Ramos. Fakes a handoff to Tobias Abram. Connects with Greg Washington, and Washington has a Greenville first down.
Yeah, it looks like it. Great catch and pickup there by Washington, as that's going to bring the ball out to the Greenville 49-yard line and give them a fresh set of downs to work with.
Well, it's a little bit of positivity for Greg Washington after he dropped what would have been a fourth down conversion earlier in this second half. So good for the senior running back. And good for the sophomore for the completion. 6:28 remaining, clock running. Once again, Chris White is in motion. He's on the right side now. Low snap. Looking for Whitus. Whitus has got it. Stepped in front of the defender. Beautiful job by Chris Whitus, but he's surrounded by white-shirted Kaufman Lions at the 25-yard line. That was destined for an interception.
Yeah, it was. And Whitus was able to change direction just enough to snatch it. And might would have been able to take it all the way if it had just been one defender, but a second Kaufman defender quickly rallied to get there and help him out.
Yeah, great job by the sophomore wide receiver. He's something. pretty good speed and got great hands and runs pretty good routes. First down, Greenville Lions. Handoff to Abram. Abram's got room up the middle. Picks up about 5. Generating a little bit of offense here as Pierre Dunn comes into the game, replacing Whitus. Whitus a little bit shaken up, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious as we see Miles Wiggins come back off the field.
Yep.
Can't have 12 guys.
I'll tell you what, Pierre Dunn, he must go about 5'8", maybe 125 pounds soaking wet. Let's see if... And the stoppage of play before the snap. It's like a procedure penalty. Maybe it'll go against the Lions. Greenville Lions.
Yeah, so I'll bring up 2nd and 11 here.
And Pierre Dunn's back out of the game. He was hoping to maybe get an opportunity to make a contribution to the offense.
He's had several good receptions, though, on the special teams side of the ball so
Yes,
far.
he has. Yes, he has. Okay, 2nd and 11 for Greenville. Washington in motion. Once again, a pre-snap penalty. False start. That's back-to-back penalties have moved the Greenville Lions back to a situation where they'll be 2nd and 16. Ball will be spotted around the 30-yard line of Kaufman with only 4:47 and counting remaining in this one.
Yeah, it's certainly not what you want to have happen right after a pickup of 5 by your running back on first down.
Yeah, amen, brother. Okay, Ramos got his work cut out for him now. 2nd and long. Kaufman will be turning them loose, and Greenville's going to call a timeout.
They had about 1 second left on the play clock, and they didn't have any other options. Otherwise, it would have backed them up even more. So.
Well, it might be good to talk about it a little bit and get everybody on the same page and see if we can make this 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back after this word from GEUS. And welcome back here to TA Cotton Ford Stadium as we are looking at the Greenville Lions trying to get something going here.
They only have 4:25 left, Bentley, and this is a 2nd and 15. Well, 2nd and 16, actually. Julian Ramos with Whitus in motion. Has room. Throws, finds Renner. Renner spins out of a tackle. He's down to the 15. He's down to the 13-yard line for a big gain. It's not going to get necessary yardage. Yes, it is. That is a first down for Greenville.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see when you're facing a 2nd and 16 type situation.
And let's credit Daniel Renner for spinning out of a tackle and getting that first down. That was brilliant. He's had a big game offensively for Greenville. He gets the handoff this time, but there's not much going on. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to give him a gain of 1.
Yes, it'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Lions here.
Clock ticking away. Greenville down to 1 timeout. Kaufman has 3 meaningless timeouts, probably. 3:30 remaining in the clock running. Greenville taking their time here. I guess they want to get the right call. Play clock down to 6. They may have to burn their final timeout, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yep, and that's not what you really want to have to do here, but unfortunately that is. And so while they're taking that timeout, we're going to talk a little bit. I don't know if any of y'all saw on Facebook or Instagram, but the Greenville Lions recently did get an updated weight room, and that was thanks to John Franklin Myers, an alumni who most of y'all, if you follow the NFL, probably know plays for the Denver Broncos and has played for the Los Angeles Rams as well as the
New York
Jets in
Jets.
his career.
Yep.
And he donated $75,000 to the athletic program to make that weight room possible. As it'll be used a lot by the football team, but of course it's used by all of Greenville sports.
Absolutely. Every athlete in Greenville has the opportunity to take advantage of that. When I went in there and saw that, I was amazed. I thought, wow, where'd we get the money for this? And
yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, all new weights, updated weight room, and everything about it looks just great.
thank you, John Franklin Myers, and continued success at the pro level. Back on the field, 2nd and 9 for the Greenville Lions. Deep in Kaufman territory, rolling right is Ramos, throwing into the end zone, and it's intercepted, and running out of the end zone, and on the far side, down to the 30-yard line, still going, past midfield. This could be a 106-yard touchdown return for a touchdown, or an interception return for a touchdown, and that's exactly what's going to happen as Daniel Renner tries to run him down, but doesn't get to him until the goal line.
Yeah, and unfortunately was able to make contact, but not till after he'd broken the plane of the goal line. So that will be a 106 or so pick six for the Kaufman Lions.
That's a drastic change in events, and I'm not sure who that Kaufman player was, but he certainly took advantage of the situation. Ball was poorly thrown by Ramos, just threw right into coverage.
Yeah, not what you want to see at this point in the game by any means.
You can read about that in the paper tomorrow because you can be sure that David Claiborne got the number. Unfortunately, I missed it, and Renteria is going to attempt the 41st extra point, and it's either blocked or poorly struck by Renteria and is no good. And we have an offsides against Greenville, so Renteria will get another shot at it. Just one of those nights, Bentley.
Yeah, and I kind of almost wonder if that may have been a poor hold or something by Kaufman's holder, because he looks like maybe his hand's hurting a little bit, and I wonder if he got his hand a little low and Renteria kicked it in the process or something.
We don't have Archer O'Neill to analyze that for us.
He'd definitely be able to tell us, that's for sure.
So they move it a yard closer for Renteria, which makes absolutely no difference. High snap, handled by the holder nicely, and Renteria's kick is up and good. 41-8, Kaufman.
Yeah, and that's not quite what you want to see after when Greenville was that close knocking on the door. But unfortunately, it is what happened. So Greenville's going to get the ball back here with a tick under 3 minutes left in this game and try to make something happen.
Well, we were hopeful on homecoming night to have some Greenville magic, and early in the game with Kaufman up 7-0, Greenville scored a touchdown from Jaden Johnson and went for two and got a pass to Jaden Johnson and went up 8-7 and showing a little spunk early, but once again, as at Terrell, the early touchdown, the other team just kind of took over the ball game, and here's the kickoff, and it's taken by Dunn at the 22-yard line. He's coming to his right, stops, reverses field. This might be interesting. Breaks a tackle, and blockers just kind of gave up on him over there, and he only gets back to the 35. That looked like it was maybe going to do something.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like there's going to be a holding penalty, maybe a couple penalties on that play. Maybe one of them, the holding penalty, looked like it may have gone against GEUS. Not 100% sure.
Well, the inexperience is another thing when it comes to penalties. If you got guys who are not used to being out there and they're trying to get a block, they're going to grab some jersey just to try to make something happen, and unfortunately, they draw the yellow flags.
That's where it's beneficial to wear white gloves in this game.
All right, so Greenville's going to get one more shot on offense. Looks like Tobias Abram is in the backfield now. We only have 2:38 remaining in this one, and with that long interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah, as refs are come to a decision, holding against Greenville.
Another walk-off against the Lions of Greenville. Going to move the ball back. And they're still going. What are they doing?
Almost looked like there may have been a personal foul penalty, too, on Greenville.
Wow.
After the play, I did see a little bit of, I guess you could say, some extracurriculars going on between a Greenville player and a Kaufman player that was on the ground. But from up here, I mean, I'm not on the field, but from up here, it looked kind of like his hand, the Greenville player's hand was stuck, and when he went to get up, he kind of slammed the Kaufman receiver down trying to free his hand or something, but could have just been done on purpose, too. I don't know. Well, that's all speculation on my part.
Well, a double walk-off against the Greenville Lions moves the ball back to their 13-yard line. They have 2:38 remaining, and with a struggling offense, one can only hope for just a couple of first downs and take this one to the house.
Yeah, pretty much just something at this point to keep the clock moving for the Lions. We see number 88, Jacob Irvin, get into the game for the Lions.
And I'm seeing Aiden Lewis and Daniel Renner down on the sidelines, and Lewis is giving Renner a hug. He's got his arm around him, saying, "Daniel, that was a heck of an effort you made trying to catch that guy who was running free, 106 yards worth." And here comes Tobias Abram, and Abram's got some room to run. White-shirted Kaufman Lions bring him down. He's a little slow getting up. Greenville Lions out of timeouts. Abram's a little bit gimpy getting up.
And talking about that effort made by Renner earlier in the game, all three of Greenville's running backs have different specialties, but having Renner on there is definitely a good thing to have on offense on the horrible chance that something like that happens.
Here comes Tobias Abram. He's got a first down and more. Up outside the 30-yard line goes Tobias Abram.
Give the Greenville Lions a new set of downs here. Bring up 1st and 10.
Another guy that we can look forward to seeing next year, as he's just a junior. Gets the handoff again. Again, he's got good yardage. I suspect probably there's some Kaufman reserves that are getting an opportunity to get a little playing time tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the chain gang just barely got set for that play, and now they got to move again for this next play.
Yeah, the big guys up front are they're enjoying opening the holes now for the running back. Pierre Dunn now trying to find a home. And Jacob Irvin moves to the right side. Ramos looks downfield, has plenty of time. He scrambles to his right and throws it out of bounds. Had Dunn standing at the 42-yard line, wide open. Ramos just didn't see Dunn. He's so small. Oh.
Yeah.
That's a shame because he was there for a first down if Ramos had thrown it to him.
Yeah, so that gives Greenville 2nd and 10 here with 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the clock.
I think, again, the Greenville coaches worrying about their quarterbacks getting hurt. They tell them, look, you slide if you're going to run, and you throw it out of bounds if you're under pressure. Here's a handoff to Tobias Abram. He cuts back, and he moves downfield for a nice gain.
Yeah, pickup of about 5 or 6 yards there. So bring up 3rd and 4 here, we'll say. 3rd and 5 for the Greenville Lions.
Lions offense trying to maximize the seconds that they have left. Low snap. Abram gets the handoff, runs into his own man, and is stopped after a short gain. He might get one more play, Bentley, before this one will be over.
Yeah, so that'll bring up 4th down. Less time on the game clock than the play clock, so that'll probably be all all she wrote for the Lions tonight.
Joshua Amador, number 21 for Greenville, is getting an opportunity to play a little bit. He's in the game at a wide receiver spot. Julian Ramos takes a low snap, hands to Abram. Abram's got room. He's loose, and he's brought down. First down, but last down.
Yep, so that's the final buzzer here as the Greenville Lions fall in homecoming to the Kaufman Lions 41-8, as we see both teams getting ready to meet at midfield and shake hands.
Well, that was another tough one for the Lions, and that 106-yard interception return, it's a 14-point swing. The score just looks so lopsided when something like that happens, and that's unfortunate for Ramos and for the Greenville Lions. So they suffer another stunning defeat by a lopsided score, and we'll go and face a Crandall team. Maybe we can get an update for them on their Terrell score, but we go down to Crandall once again, where we really don't like to go because they don't have a press box down there for us. And if we have bad conditions next week, it's going to be a difficult broadcast for Matthew especially. Let's see if we got any updates from around the district, Bentley.
Yeah, as of right now, the final for the Midlothian Heritage Corsicana game was 51-7 in Midlothian Heritage's favor. Crandall and Terrell are still tied at 14 in the third quarter. Maybe fourth quarter now, but that's the most updated score I've got. Ennis is up 63-14 on Poteet.
Wow.
And then this is not in district, but Tioga is up 53-28 on Wolf City. So
my
that game
goodness.
appears to have gotten out of hand.
My goodness. Well, there were some big games around the league, and we'll have to hope that some of the other area teams are doing better than Wolf City and Greenville did tonight. But that's the story from T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. The final score, Kaufman 41, Greenville 8. For Bentley Love and Matthew Middleton, I'm Bob Muty, saying good night, everybody, and God bless you.
This video has been brought to you by GEUS. GEUS is your community-owned provider for electric, internet, cable TV, and true local programming.